But it looks like the O's are also starting a little early. Star Wars weekend over there at Camden Yards. I'm a little sad I'm not there at the moment. Might have to go Sunday, maybe. All right. Let's test out the chat. There we go. All right. Things look like they are working. We are all good. So it is Orioles and Blue Jays here in an AL East matchup. Ooh, that. Let's see. How am I zoomed? Yeah. Okay. So you can't see the out of town scoreboard. So quick look at the gamecast here. Just while we're here. Oh, hey, look, it's Jorge Mateo, former Oriole Jorge Mateo, with the now with the Braves. They have the bases loaded from the looks of it. This ad goes away. Just gonna. Before the Orioles game starts, we'll check in on our old friend Jorge, who's had a really good month of April. I know that. And a good month of May from the looks of it as well. He's been, hitting 324 is pretty nice. But just while we're here, might as well check in. Otherwise, Pirates are up 2-1 over the Twins. Padres up 1-0 over the Nationals. Orioles and Padres are facing off in 2 weeks from now, I believe. If I remember correctly, because it's a pair of games against the Blue Jays is what's going to be on stream this week and next week. And then after that, it's the big West Coast trip, and also just really West Coast team matchup for the Orioles. I'll get into that in a sec. Just want to see how Jorge does against Chad, or I think this is Chris Paddock, actually. Hang on. Yeah, Chris Paddock. There was, I think it's Chad Patrick is another one, and then Chris Paddock. But we'll flip back to the O's game in a couple minutes when it gets started. It's a Trevor Rogers start for the O's. Has not exactly been great for Trevor Rogers over really the past 6 starts. It's been rough, really rough. 2-6 on the year is Rogers. We'll see him here soon. O's lost yesterday, 2-1 on a bases loaded walk was the game-winning run in the 7th inning, I think. 7th or 8th inning, 1 of the 2. And unfortunately, the O's offense just did not have a good game yesterday. They had stranded 2nd and 3rd, nobody out in the 1st inning, and it was just kind of all downhill from there. Jorge is going to ground into a fielder's choice from the looks of it, and I think maybe a throwing error. Interesting. Because I feel like a grounder to shortstop should have been at least 2 outs for the double play. I don't know. Anyway. All right, let's go back to the O's. So we should get started here in just a moment or so. But yeah, Star Wars weekend over at the R. There's apparently a lot of Mandalorian cosplayers, and not just of Din Djarin, but various different Mandalorians, both actual and just kind of custom made, which is cool. I like that a lot. But yeah, Rogers 2-6 with a 6.96 ERA. It's just been one bad start after another, and it's really every time he gets to 2 strikes and 2 outs. Really consistently and really weirdly. I don't know why. Whenever he gets to that count, he can't figure it out. He just gives up. Hitters are hitting better than Babe Ruth. I saw average wise. I think this was before his last start, but when hitters got to 2 strikes and 2 outs against Trevor Rogers, their batting average and slugging, a lot of the stats basically were above the career average of Babe Ruth, which is crazy. For some reason, it just doesn't work. For whatever reason, I no idea why. So Blue Jays lineup will be George Springer, Ernie Clement, and Vlad Guerrero Jr. Springer, I believe, was batting 7th yesterday and hit a homer. I think, if I remember correctly. Unless it's, I'm pretty sure it was Springer who did it. Their Blue Jays just recently called up one of their top prospects, Charles McAdoo, who's in the lineup. He is batting 7th, I believe. They're not listing him as batting. Well, the box score is not listing him as batting, but the Masson lineup said he was batting. Oh no, never mind. He is. It's not C McAdoo. It's just McAdoo. He's batting sixth. Also interesting. I guess because he's just like such a new. This is his MLB debut, I think. So first pitch from Rogers is inside to George Springer, the righty, for ball one on a fastball. Rogers, according to StatCast, throws a four-seam change, sinker, cutter, and sweeper. There's a four-seamer that gets launched up into shallow right field. Actually, not like barely you can consider that right field as Jackson Holliday retreats back. So very shallow pop-up for Trevor Rogers to get out number one. 2 pitches, 1 out there. We get started here on a very, very beautiful Friday night. Brings up Ernie Clement. Clement, actually, he was the one who had the home run yesterday, not Springer. It was Ernie Clement. He's going to knock this one high in the air over into left field, but not deep enough. Taylor Ward will complete the flyout. It's a decent contact, but definitely got a little under that fastball. So very, very quick 2 outs here for Trevor Rogers, who looks to be clean shaven as well. Interesting. I'm going clean shaven soon, I think, in a couple days. Once June hits, I think I'm going clean shaven, so I might have to follow Rogers here. So Vlad Guerrero Jr. is up, batting .289. He looks at strike one called. It was inside on the fastball, but I'll take it. No challenge from Vlad, who has been having a nice season batting average wise, though apparently it's his like home run power has been dipping significantly from what I heard. Vlad swats away that sinker there for strike 2. But I think I was listening to broadcast yesterday, and apparently he's been hitting a lot more ground balls as of late, but I guess a lot of them have been getting through for hits. It's just the fly balls and therefore the home runs has been significantly down. The 0-2 to Guerrero is outside with a changeup for ball 1. Kind of down in the left-handed hitter's batter's box, so clearly no swing there. We got Guerrero, who has historically hit the Orioles extremely well. It was like between him, Bo Bichette, and Aaron Judge. So like it was a nightmare. That fastball is upstairs and away for ball 2. Guerrero does not chase. At this point, not quite as young as he once was, but still somewhat relatively young. Actually, how old is Vlad? I don't know off the top of my head. But Guerrero is the superstar for the Blue Jays as he fouls that sinker off. We go again at 2-2. But Guerrero, who is 27, so he's still pretty young, made his debut back in 2019. So he's the guy for the Blue Jays. He will strike out here on a cutter, and there we go. Trevor Rogers with a really nice first inning. Couple pop out, a fly out, and a strikeout for Rogers. 1, 2, 3. Looking like the Trevor Rogers of last year. Certainly hope he can keep that up. Will be Taylor Ward, Gunnar Henderson, and Adley Rutschman up to bat. But yeah, Guerrero he was the guy. Like Bo Bichette was another one as well. A lot of the young guys for the Blue Jays core that they were really good in 2020, 2021, maybe not 2021, but like 2022, 2023. And they were good. And then they kind of floundered a little bit here and there, but they obviously last year they did very well. Obviously they went to the World Series, took the Dodgers to the brink, though did lose in Game 7. And it has not been a very good season so far for the Blue Jays. I mean, they're at this point 1 game under 500, so they've crawled back a little bit, but it is, with most of the American League, it has not been great for Toronto. They're hoping to try and turn things around here. Same with the Orioles, who obviously have not gotten off to a good start at all. They're a couple games below, they're 5 games at this point below 500. So a series win here against the Blue Jays, which would require winning 3 straight after the loss yesterday, would be really, really, really helpful for Baltimore to try and get back well within the standings of the wild card race, given that Tampa Bay and New York have the division pretty much locked up between those two at the moment. This is, of course, still only May 29th. We got a long way to go for the season. We're about a third of the way through, I want to say. Roughly, I think next week is going to mark the official, third way through of the season. I was actually calculating this for my short that I made last night. We're 2.8 I was like, because I was dividing the games over like games played over total games, and it's like got to 2.8, so it's like you want 3.3, I guess. So it's like not quite to the third way through the season, but pretty close. The Orioles will be taking on Adam Macko, who throws ball 1 to Taylor Ward. Macko, interesting one, the first ever Slovakian player to ever reach the majors. Born in Slovakia, though he's Slovakian-Canadian, dual citizenship, I guess. Ward will smack this one over into left field for a base hit. Macko, who made his debut last Monday, so almost 2 weeks ago at this point, on the 18th against the Yankees, has been entirely a relief pitcher at this point. Don't know if he's just an opener or if he's going to be the like proper starter, but that looked like a four-seamer that was just launched horizontally on a liner over into left field. So Macko throws a slider, four-seamer, changeup, and cutter. Gunnar will check swing on that slider for ball 1. Primarily throws the slider and four-seamer, especially to lefties. Does not throw the changeup at all to lefties. Is a lefty pitcher himself. That four-seamer is just a little high for ball 2. But Gunnar has been getting a little bit better as of late. He's at 99 career home runs as well. So one more would be home run number 100. He hit 2 on the game on Wednesday against Tampa Bay to complete the series sweep there. What a difference a week makes as well. Gunnar will swing through a slider there underneath him for strike 1. Well below the zone there. But yeah, I mean, last week coming into my stream against the Tigers, the O's were doing really bad, to say the least, but they've won. They've been 4-2 in their last 6 since that game. 5-2 if you count the win against Detroit last time on last stream. That slider is a little high for ball 3. So yeah, I mean, the loss yesterday hurts a lot. It was really rough to see, but they've been playing a lot better as a whole as of late. Certainly helps that Jackson Holliday is back now. Henderson in a very favorable count here against Macko will swing under a fastball there for strike 2. Foul tips that back into the glove of the catcher Valenzuela. So Gunnar's now in a full count with a couple swings and misses and a couple takes. Taylor Ward on first. Nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. Nothing. Get time called by the catcher, I believe. Maybe it was Gunnar, one of the two. Either way, it's time called. But the lone run for the O's last night came courtesy of Kobe Mayo, who launched a home run to dead center. Hopefully, O's can get more than one here tonight. Throw it to first base. Not in time, just really checking the runner. Taylor Ward, not a guy that steals a lot, but is someone who does, obviously the threat is still there. But it is, right now it is the battle between Macko and Henderson, who will knock this one over to a diving third baseman, Kazuma Okamoto, and he's going to just barely not double up Taylor Ward, who was caught kind of in between the base pass. It's a soft kind of liner to a diving Okamoto. Ward scrambles back to first base. Guerrero a little bit out of position. The throw also not great. So Ward pretty lucky to at least make this a chance to get back there. The call in the field is safe. A good play by Okamoto anyway. So the throw was well offline actually. And Ward has to slide back into first base. Again, call in the field is safe. I'm not sure if they're trying to review this or not. Doesn't look like we got a challenge from Toronto. I don't think so. Yeah, Adley Rutschman is now at bat, so it is a simple, soft liner from Gunnar Henderson. Again, good play by Kazuma Okamoto, one of the big free agent signings by the Blue Jays. Bring him over from Japan. He's playing third base. Rutschman swings under or over a slider actually for strike 1. Adley DHing tonight. Samuel Basayo is doing the catching. It's a really nice lineup here for the O's tonight. I love this lineup. Really, the only one, guy that I would like to see, even that I don't really want to take anyone out, is Blaze Alexander, who had 6 RBIs back on Wednesday, as that changeup is outside for ball 1. But again, I'm fine like with all 9 of these guys right now in the O's lineup. I mean, Ward, Henderson's getting a lot better. Ward's been an on-base machine. Rutschman's been playing well. Alonso's been getting a lot better. Rutschman takes strike 2, on a fastball at the bottom of the zone. But Basayo's been probably the best overall hitter for the Orioles so far this season. Like just through the entire way through, he's been really good. Tavares has been a really nice surprise. Like when he gets on base, he just makes magic happen. Does Leote. Kowser's been having a nice stretch here. I mean, he obviously had the back-to-back days with walk-off home runs. Mayo's been heating up a little bit. He had the home run yesterday and Holiday's back, and you don't really want to take his bat out. That curveball is up and away for ball 2. So, yeah, it's like, even with Blaze Alexander having the 6 RBIs, it's like, I get not playing him. I mean, it's also lefty starter at the moment, but even then, it might just be an opener. I'm not quite sure. That pitch is below the zone with the fastball for ball 3, so Adley's worked himself into a full count. But, I mean, on the bench, it's like Tyler O'Neill, Weston Wilson, and Jeremiah Jackson, I think, are the other 3. And then also Blaze Alexander, but it should be, Blaze, Jeremiah, Weston, and Tyler are the 4 on the bench. And I'm fine sitting, and 3 of those bats I'm fine sitting. I mean, J. Jax has a couple of good ones. There's Adley fouls that slider off. But yeah, like Jeremiah Jackson's had some up and down moments. He's obviously had a couple grand slams, but he's also grounded into a lot of double plays. So I'm fine not taking, like, especially with Jackson Holiday back, I'm fine taking his bat out on occasion. But like O'Neill's definitely been one that it's like I'm fine benching him because he's been terrible. And Weston Wilson's a utility guy. Adley will knock this one over to second base. This will be a tailor-made double play for the second baseman. Who was at second base? McAdoo, the new prospect for the Blue Jays in his major league debut. So he makes the double play on the ground out from Adley. So the O's get leadoff single and nothing more. As it is Charles McAdoo, acquired from the Pirates back at the trade deadline in 2024. Let me actually see. Charles McAdoo, born in 2002, so he's actually younger than me. Interesting. Born in Walnut Creek, California. So he was selected in the 13th round of the 2023 draft. He was traded to the Blue Jays in exchange for Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Interesting. So I guess I think that was when the Blue Jays were selling at the deadline. I feel like they were. I could be wrong, but and it makes sense because IKF was he still is a major league. He's actually been doing pretty well in the Red Sox this year. I guess the Pirates were decent in 2024. I kind of blocked that year out of my memory at this point. At that point, because that was when everything started to go wrong for the Orioles. No. This time the box score didn't want to update. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So 1 hit, nothing more for the Orioles. It will be Okamoto, Dalton Varsho, and McAdoo up due against Trevor Rogers. So Okamoto was previously on the Yomiuri Giants from 2015 to 2025. So a veteran of Nippon professional baseball over in Japan. Signed a 4-year, $60 million contract. Did Okamoto do play for the Blue Jays? Batting average has not quite been there yet. A little low, just hitting 215. Knocks this first pitch high into the air on a cutter, but well in the park, just into shallow center field. Leote will make the catch. On pitch number 10, it is out number 4 for Trevor Rogers, who's pitched a good inning and a third, but that obviously is still very early. Things could definitely change. Brings up Dalton Varsho, the lefty center fielder, hitting 265 home runs, 16 RBIs, 743 OPS. So first lefty-lefty matchup, I think, of the night. Leaves. There's strike 1 on a fastball that clips the outside part of the zone. So after that, it will be Charles McAdoo, but the next pitch to Varsho is knocked foul, another fastball. So a quick 0-2 hole as Rogers has been pitching good so far. Maybe he just needed a clean shave. Who knows? But O's in their City Connect jerseys. The always nice to see Camden Yards looking City Connects. 0-2 hole for Varsho at the moment. He will knock this one high in the air over into center field, deep into center field, but Tavares will actually miss on the jump. So that's going to be a triple here, maybe, as Ward has to scramble for it, as Taveras just kind of misread that a bunch in center field, so that probably should have been an out. It was at the wall. Dalton Varsho instead gets the triple as Taveras misplays the jump, misses the ball. The ball goes, like, Taveras kind of lollygagging as well. Ward has to take a while. Varsho was looking triple all the way. It's a fastball above the zone and just kept on going. And Taveras is just odd defensive play from Leody Taveras there, as McAdoo swings through a fastball for strike one. So runner on third base, one out here for the Blue Jays. This is the MLB debut for Charles McAdoo, hitting .250 with 8 home runs in the minors. Next pitch is up and away, but swung underneath on another fastball for strike two. So a couple swinging strikes courtesy of Charles McAdoo, thanks to Trevor Rogers. So see if he tries to triple up on the fastball here before he goes for something off speed. Obviously don't want a wild pitch because that would score a run. The 0-2 is fastball that is fouled off the mask of Sample Basayo. He's a little slow at the moment. Basayo's had a lot of those, it feels like, where he just gets pummeled behind home base. And that was right back into his face. So he's looks to be okay enough, but definitely kind of rattled his cage a little bit. That is just a little bit of foul tip right back into the face mask from McAdoo. Was a fastball as well. That one was well in the zone. So I think Basayo's signaling over to the bench that he's okay. So McAdoo, the righty, against Rogers, the lefty. Next pitch is another fastball in there. Strike three called at the top of the zone. Good pitch from Rogers. 4 straight fastballs gets McAdoo out in his first major league at-bat. Really crucial strikeout there as well, because that eliminates the sac fly. Obviously, the inning is not over whatsoever, but that is a huge second out after the triple. Next up, it is Miles Straw. It was acquired from the Guardians back in January of 2025 via a trade. Hitting .250 with 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, 676 OPS. Don't know if he's an everyday player. Knocks this one over, caught on a line there by Jackson Holliday in the second base spot. So the triple is cut away as the Blue Jays get a hit and nothing more. They leave their base runner stranded. Rogers scoreless through 2, as the O's will have Pete Alonso, Sample Basayo, and Leody Taveras up to bat. Taveras will try to look to make up for his gaffe that was luckily saved by a good Houdini act there by Trevor Rogers. So we go to the bottom of the second. The Orioles are in the midst of a really long homestand, all against their division. I think it's the longest homestand of the year, where it's like 10 straight games. I guess it was also include the you also include the ones against the Tigers. So it was 3 against the Tigers, 3 against the Rays, 4 against the Blue Jays, all in a row for those homestands. Then it's going to be 3 against the Red Sox, 3 against the Blue Jays as well. So it's 3 Rays, 4 Blue Jays, 3 Red Sox, 3 Blue Jays, all divisional matchups in these 2 weeks pretty much for the Orioles. Then they have a big West Coast showdown. They have 4 home against the Mariners, then 3 home against the Padres. Then they go out west to have 3 against the Mariners, 3 against the Dodgers, 3 against the Angels. So that is a big old West Coast trip. Then they'll come back for the Nats at the end of June, but that is a good while away. For now, though, it is trying to get a win back here against Toronto to try and keep up with them, or try and secure 3rd place in the division as we get to June. As this series will wrap up. Actually, once the series wraps up, it will be June, as Game 4 will be on Sunday, and then Monday is the start of June. So hopefully the O's can end May off on a high note with a couple wins here against Toronto. They got to get some runs here, get some base runners as well. As Adam Macko still at the pitch, as Alonso grounds the first curveball foul. Macko is not allowed to run yet in his big league tenure, all in relief before today. But pitched basically like 6 combined innings scoreless as Alonso knocks this one high over into right field. And just foul. Had it been a little bit to the left, it would have been a home run. But it was just a little too far to the right. Alonso hunting for another one of those opposite field homers. So it looks like this is, I guess this might just be a bullpen game for the Blue Jays. They do have Austin Voth, former Oriole actually for a little bit, if I remember correctly, as Alonso takes ball one on a slider inside. But yeah, Voth is warming in the bullpen. Just flashbang me for a second. I haven't heard of Austin Voth's name in a while. But yeah, up to this one, it's actually only 4.1 innings pitched for Macos. He gets Alonso to sky this one, foul and out of play on a fastball. But yeah, 4.1 innings pitched all in relief for Mako, all scoreless. It's actually now 5 innings pitched, or 5.1 innings pitched, all scoreless still. I think Voth was on the 2023 team. I know he was on 2022 for the Orioles. Yeah, 2022, 2023 there for the O's. Alonso strikes out on a changeup above and away. So that's 4 straight batters retired for Mako to start the game. I guess actually no, he did give up a hit. So yeah, there's just the double play after that. So four outs. He's gone through the order without anything more. Something like that. Whatever it is. As Basayo rips this one through the middle infield for a base hit on the first pitch. Basayo wasting no time. 110 off the bat. Rushed that one. Did Big Sam. Gets on base. Second single of the day for the Orioles. Looked like maybe a hanging cutter, a changeup or something. And Basayo just swats that one past McAdoo, who had no chance whatsoever. Brings up Leody Taveras, who could certainly make up for his little gaffe in the first inning that luckily did not cost anything run-wise. There's strike one on a changeup, but still would certainly like to not repeat that if you're a Leody. But as probably the last couple batters Mako's going to face, given that this looks like a bullpen game, as there's strike one called on a slider well inside. Taveras does not challenge. That was a good, 2 inches inside. Taveras only 2 home runs, but hitting .277, 21 RBIs, 768 OPS. Very speedy guy as well when he's on base. Loves to steal, takes a changeup outside for ball one. He's a switch hitter as well, if I remember correctly. He was on the Texas Rangers World Series winning team back in 2023. He's now on the O's. 1-2 to Taveras is skied high and foul behind home plate on a slider. So runner on first, 1 out for Taveras and Mako in this matchup. 25 pitches for Mako in the starting role. Next pitch is check swing foul on the fastball above the zone. So we go again at 1-2. So Taveras, again, one of the kind of the bright spots, especially early on in the season for the O's. Been a nice jolt of energy, especially when he gets on base. Let's see if we can try and get on here. Especially with Basayo on base. Taveras knocks this one over into right field on a liner. That will get to Basayo over to second, Taveras over to first. So back-to-back singles for the O's here in the bottom of the second inning. Taveras with a nice little opposite field knock there. Looks like that was just a fastball that Taveras gets kind of inside-out swing. Just slides it over there. No chance for anyone on the Blue Jays infield to make a play. So first and second, nobody out. Brings up Colton Cowser. Hero back on Sunday and Monday. Had the walk-off in the 9th. First walk-off hit for the Orioles this season. Did Colton on the 2-run home run on Sunday. On the first game of the doubleheader. Then in 13 innings on Monday, he had another 2-run walk-off home run. Takes strike one on a slider there. Really good pitch right at the bottom corner. But Cowser just hitting .206 was a really rough struggle to start out for him. But has looked better as of late. Still not, quite as good as you want, as he takes a curveball over his head for ball one. Definitely not where Mako wanted that one to go. But yeah, it's is still not quite up to the Colton Cowser that I think we expect of him and really want of him, but it's getting there. It's getting a lot better. Still struggles with the changeup a lot, as Cowser will knock this one kind of jam shot over into shallow center field. That will be fielded cleanly there by Dalton Varsho for out number 2. But overall, Cowser has been playing better than, earlier in the season. Still not, spectacular, and certainly the little pop out doesn't help there. But we'll bring up Kobe Mayo, and that will be pitching change number 1, and looks to be a bullpen game for the Blue Jays. So it'll be Austin Voth as Adam Macko, sorry, not Alex Macko. Adam Macko leaves 2 on, though gets through an inning and 2/3, 30 pitches. Mayo's also a righty, so it makes sense you take out the lefty pitcher, as Kobe Mayo, who was not on the team when Austin Voth was pitching. Mayo would have been in the minors at that point. I forget, was Kobe Mayo drafted in 2020 or 2021? I don't remember. Might have been even after that. Let's see, Mayo was drafted 2020. Okay, so he's in the Orioles minor league system at that point, while Austin Voth was pitching for the O's in the majors. Like, maybe if Voth got sent down to AAA, they might have seen each other, but not too much out of that. But yeah, Voth was one of the many bullpen options for the O's back in the day. Not long ago back in the day, but just a couple of years. I mean, at this point, it's 3 to 4 years ago, which is kind of crazy. But was started out in the Mariners, or sorry, not the Mariners. He was on the Mariners in 2024, but he was started out as a national from 2018 to 2022. He actually might have been a starting pitcher. I feel like he started a game or two for the O's, but was mostly a relief pitcher. But was left the O's after their playoff sweep, courtesy of Leody Taveras' Texas Rangers back in October 2023, then went to the Mariners after that for 1 year. Then was on the Chiba Lotta Marines in Nippon Professional Baseball. So over in Japan in 2025, based in Chiba City, over in Kanto. So it's kind of near Tokyo, a little bit. I think it's a little south. It might be technically part of Tokyo, I think. It's across the bay from Tokyo, roughly. But anyway, now he's back in the majors, is Austin Voth on the Blue Jays. Actually, let me switch my baseball's font. So he righty on righty here for Voth and Mayo. Mayo just hitting 200, but has been hitting better as Mayo launches one high over into left field. If that is fair, it is gone. It will just turn foul. Oh, he launched that up by where the retired numbers are. He got all of that one. Just a little bit too out in front was Kobe. Ambush on the first pitch. They was hitting it towards the Jim Palmer 22. Got it up into the third deck up there. Just a little bit foul. Don't think Voth is going to want to throw that pitch again. 0-1 to Mayo. Outside on a cutter for ball 1. Both cutter, four-seamer, sweeper, curveball, sinker, and splitter. Mostly the cutter and four-seamer. Decent bit of the sweeper as well. There's a good mix to righties. So we see a little bit of everything. This one is a sinker that runs inside. Kobe Mayo fouls it off. So in a 1-2 hole now is Kobe, who had, back in the first inning last night, had runners on second and third, 2 outs, and he struck out. Now he has runners on first and second, 2 outs in a 1-2 count. Let's hope he does not strike out. Takes his time here. Did have the home run last night, but it was solo shot. Would have liked it to have been the 3-run shot the first time around, but oh well. See if he can get another one of those knocks over into left field and get it a little bit more straightened out this time. So the 1-2 for Kobe Mayo from former Oriole Austin Voth is knocked high in the air, and that will be over into foul territory and right and be fielded. Dropped actually by Vladimir Guerrero by the tarp. Guerrero, I think, was trying to be a little fancy with it for some reason. Either that or he just couldn't quite find it. O's catch a huge break there, as that would have been out number 3. Guerrero, it was kind of in his glove. He snowballed it, or snow-coned it a little bit, and just dropped it in the end. Guerrero, usually a pretty good defender. Just kind of lost track of it there right at the end. It was just popped in and out of his glove, actually, is what happened. And, I mean, I think Guerrero's won a Gold Glove title before, at least at first base. Just commits an error there. So Kobe, with new life, will look to try and make up for it here, make the Blue Jays pay. Takes inside on a curveball. That gets skirts away from Valenzuela, but no advance from either runner, as it was just kind of off to the side instead of behind him. Still ball 2 for Kobe Mayo against Austin Voth. So an error on Vladimir Guerrero Jr. keeps this inning alive for the O's. Mayo in a 2-2 count now. Runners on first and second. 2 outs here. 0-0. Bottom 2. Mayo on the next pitch will knock this one over into center field. That will just be caught there by Dalton Varsho on the run back. Good play there by the center fielder Varsho, as the liner was hit just to the wrong place in the park by Mayo. Just kind of looked like a fastball he might not have gotten the best contact on, but Varsho makes a good play over his head to make up for the error committed by Guerrero Jr. So the O's strand 2. We go on to the 3rd inning. Still scoreless here. Will be Pinago, Valenzuela, and Springer up to bat for the Blue Jays. Let's see. That's the wrong roster. Yohendrick Pinango. Yeah. Yohendrick Pinango is the batter up. One of the bench players there, because it's that's started versus lefties, or for righties. The started versus lefties, they're using a lot of the bench, are the Blue Jays. Was acquired via a trade from the Cubs back in 2024. So same deadline as the acquisition for McAdoo from a different NL Central team. So Pinango, who has also made his major league debut this season. Let's see. So he was an international free agent signing by the Cubs back in 2018. And let's see. So they, him and Josh Rivera, who is still in the Blue Jays minor league system as a shortstop, were traded to the Blue Jays in exchange for Nate Pearson, pitcher who was on the Blue Jays for a lot of the early 2020s. Is now on the Astros. Was on the Cubs for a couple of years. And then, meanwhile, Brandon Valenzuela was acquired from the Padres in a trade in 2025. Curious who they acquired, or what trade that was, because I do not know off the top of my head. So Brandon Valenzuela, the catcher for the Blue Jays, who's done a lot more regular catching with Alejandro Kirk injured, as Pinango takes strike 1 on a fastball from Rogers. Let's see. Will Wagner was who the Padres traded for in exchange for Valenzuela, as there's ball 1 on a cutter below the zone. So Rogers giving up just the 1 triple that probably should have been caught by Leody Taveras. Otherwise, it's been all outs, as Pinango launches one over into left field, and a diving catch made by Taylor Ward. Nice. Well done, Taylor. That had triple, maybe even inside the park home run written all over it. Taylor Ward did not make the play there, but he makes the diving catch right at the end of the glove. That is a proper little snow cone right there. Right at the edge of his mitt. Real good play there by Taylor Ward for out number 1 on Pinango. Brings up Brandon Valenzuela. Knocks one over into left field as well. This will be much easier for Ward, who has to barely move there on the liner. So a couple outs over to left field on just a couple pitches for Rogers here to start the 3rd inning. Just 22 pitches for an inning, or for 2 2/3 now. Gets the order turned back over for George Springer. who had a soft flyout to, I believe, Jackson Holliday the first time up. Shallow right field the first time. First pitch from Rogers to Springer on the second time around is a fastball buried in the dirt for ball one. Showing Melanie Newman's talking about Chris Bassett, former Toronto Blue Jay, who started yesterday. Pitched well, honestly. Bassett definitely pitched well, gave up just one home run. Strike one on a changeup that Springer swings over. But, I mean, I'm not complaining about Bassett's start yesterday. It was really just the offense that struggled a good bit. Rogers so far tonight, though obviously 2 outs has been his struggle so far, as another changeup causes Springer to swing through again, and neither of those pitches were really anywhere. I mean, the first one was pretty close to the zone. That one was not really close at all. But Springer, I guess, was seeing something that he thought else with those pair of changeup. The 1-2 to Springer is below on a fastball again for ball 2. So again, 2 strikes, 2 outs has been Trevor Rogers' kryptonite. So I think he's kind of been maybe a little thankful that the Blue Jays have been a bit aggressive and flying out a lot, as Springer taps this changeup foul, barely stays alive. So a couple of very quick lineouts to start this inning. Now a decent battle here between Rogers and Rogers and Springer as we start the second time through the order, as Springer will chop this one over to Gunnar Henderson at short. He will throw across the diamond for out number 3. So a quick 1-2-3 inning for Trevor Rogers, who's put up 3 very nice innings and easily his best start so far. Knock on wood. Knocking on wood here. Best start so far in a while. Definitely through 3 innings, it's been his best start. Let's see if the offense can pick things up. For this bullpen game for the Blue Jays will be Jackson Holliday, Taylor Ward, and Gunnar Henderson. Holliday, who's completing basically his first, at this point, it's, or no, he debuted back at the first series. Never mind. So he's been a little over a week and a half, like almost 2 weeks now for Holliday since he's been back. Because it was, I think he came back in the first Blue Jays series, or first Rays series, right? Hang on one sec. I gotta make sure I'm not going nuts. So I don't think he debuted, or not debuted, like came back. Hang on one second. Game log. There we go. That's what I want. Yeah, it was the first Rays series. So last Tuesday was when he came back, the 19th. So it's been a week and a half pretty much for Holliday since he's been back in the majors after his hamate bone injury. Has honestly been not too bad. I mean, 217, it's, he's, again, only been in a couple games. But, he's got a couple hits. He's got 5 hits, scored 4 runs as well. Scored 4 runs, 4 RBIs, has 1 home run so far. Had that, actually, I called it last week. Now that I remember. Had the very quirky home run over into left field under the foul pole, pretty much. Off of Jack Flaherty. So we'll see if he can get another one here. They're showing some of the Star Wars fans again, as it is Star Wars weekend over in Camden Yards. Holliday on the first pitch from Austin Voth will take strike 1 on a curveball below the zone. So Voth the righty, Holliday the lefty. Don't mind that matchup. Holliday will knock this one over into right center field for a single. So that's 4 singles now for the Orioles in this game. All 4 of their hits are singles. As Ben Wagner and Jim Palmer are wielding foot-long fried hot dogs shaped like lightsabers. It's quite the interesting one there. Gotta love the Orioles broadcast sometimes. So leadoff man on for the O's. Turns the order back around. Taylor Ward, who singled his first time up, will look at a sweeper just above the zone for ball 1. Probably could have taken a hack at that one, could Taylor Ward, but usually pretty patient, is Taylor. Takes there. So Ward reached his first time up, then got eliminated on a double play, courtesy of Adley Rutschman. Takes a cutter for a strike there at the top of the zone, 1-1 from former Oriole Austin Voth. And what definitely appears, because I doubt Voth is going to like do a bulk start, because I don't think you have Mako be like an opener, because he went an inning and 2/3. There is ball 2 on a cutter outside, down and away more so. So I think this is just a bullpen game from the looks of things. But Ward, who has been, again, on-base machine, the power's not really been there for Ward yet, even though that's kind of what he was brought in to be. But again, he's still very good at getting on base. Takes outside with the fastball for ball 3. So in his usual element of getting to 3 balls, usually also does wind up in full counts as well, and then winds up more often than not walking after that. It's kind of been the Taylor Ward special. We'll see if he goes to a full count here or not. So the 3-1 to Ward is below with a curveball for ball 4. So Ward will take his walk. I think he leads the American League in walks. I think he's like second total in walks. I think it's like, I forget. Actually, let me check who is leading the league. Leading baseball in walks, I should say, because I don't remember off the top of my head. Because Ward's up there for sure. I think he is also like one of the league leaders in doubles for the American League. So let's see. Gunnar Henderson, who struck out his first time up, I think, takes inside. That's going to be a wild pitch. It might have hit Gunnar Henderson, maybe. It's a wild pitch nonetheless. The runner advanced to second and third. Nobody out here. Let's see. Doubles. Ward is falling a little bit. He's at 15 right now. And then walks. That was a slider. Breaking ball of some sort that just barely misses Henderson. Well inside by his feet. So Ward is third in walks behind Mike Trout and Nick Kurtz. Okay. That's what it is. So a wild pitch on the first pitch from Austin Voth. And Henderson, yeah, he didn't strike out. There's a curveball up and away for ball 2. Back. Henderson, what did he do? Oh yeah, he had the soft like little blooper to Okamoto, who made a nice diving catch. That's what it was. On I think it was a 3-1 count as well, if I remember correctly. Favorable count here for Gunnar with runners in scoring position. Nobody out here. Takes strike 1. Not called strike 1. Interesting. That was a sinker that was well in the zone. So no challenge there from Valenzuela either. So Henderson in a 3-0 count now. Curious if he's going to have the green light here. I'm very curious. Henderson will take ball 4. So kind of pitched around Gunnar a little bit. Did both. I mean, he obviously saw a decent bit of Gunnar in 2023. That's 2 straight walks from Austin Voth, who will end his night here. Leaves the bases loaded and nobody out. Adley Rutschman, who grounded into a double play last time he was up, has a chance to avenge that first inning blunder. Might also just be a pitching coach visit, actually. Might not be a full-on bullpen or pitching substitution. But Voth was kind of spraying it around the strike zone. I mean, he should have had a strike there against Gunnar on that one pitch, but we have ABS for that. So that's really like Voth or Valenzuela. Either of them could have challenged that pitch. So it's kind of their fault at this point. Rutschman, 355, 3 grand slams, 37 RBIs, career with the bases loaded for Adley. Again, anything past the infield. That's all I want. Even a sac fly wouldn't be the worst thing in the world because it would give the Orioles a run. But I would certainly like anything not out related to score some runs here for Adley, who will take below the zone for ball 1. Probably at least at some point caught Austin Voth back in the day. A few times here and there. I forget. I don't think James McCann was he on the 2023 team? I don't remember. I forget who also the other catcher was. The 1-0 to Rutschman is inside with a splitter for ball 2. So Voth has struggled now to find the strike zone really just all game. 10 balls to 3 strikes in his 13 pitches. So very favorable count here for Rutschman, looking to break this game open early. This pitch is below the zone on a four-seamer, so a 3-0 count for Rutschman. So Voth not having a good outing right now. Is a ball away from walking in a run, which the Orioles did last night and led to the loss. Wouldn't mind a walk-in run here either. That would be kind of nice. Adley in a 3-0. I doubt he swings here. He will take ball 4 on a cutter just below the zone. There is run number 1 and third straight walk. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the third as well. So Holiday reaches home after his single and has really not had to move at all ever since. So Voth is kind of being left out there to die kind of a little bit. No action in the Blue Jays bullpen at the moment. Still has only gotten through a third of an inning. Pete Alonso's now up. He will swing through cutter there for strike 1. Alonso struck out his first time up. So Voth gets his first strike in a while, though that pitch was outside the zone. Alonso just got a little greedy there. So Alonso with a chance to really do some damage. Swings through a sweeper there for strike 2. So Alonso not a great showing so far tonight, unfortunately. So Ward, Henderson, and Rutschman, the top of the order, all on base courtesy of walks. Orioles already have a run in. Alonso in danger of striking out for a second time in the 0-2 count. Will knock this one high in the air over into shallow right field. This probably will not get a run in. Fielded there by the right fielder, Pinango. That will not get a runner in. So unproductive out from Pete Alonso there for out number 1. We'll bring up Samuel Basallo. He was singled on the first pitch he saw last time he was up. Don't know if Sam has a grand slam yet in his career. Would be cool if he gets one, though. Let's see a Samuel Basallo grand slam. 1 for 1 on the night with a hard single. Bases loaded, 1 out here. Orioles up 1-0, bottom of the third. 25th pitch from Austin Voth to Samuel Basallo is swung on a miss. Curveball, strike 1. So still a lot of pitches that are outside the zone, but Alonso and Basallo have been a bit more greedy. Hello, Connor. Yep, he's both former Orioles. He's a double agent tonight. That's what he is. Been throwing a bunch of balls. Has been swinging at a little bit right now. This one is well outside. There's a sweeper outside. No swing for ball 1. So Blue Jays pitchers last 9 games, 2 ERA flat, .99 whip. Not been it tonight. There's a fastball inside for ball 2. So still basically been all balls from Austin Voth pretty much all this inning. I mean, Alonso, I think the one he popped out on might have been a strike, but he swung and missed on a couple balls outside. Even the fastballs haven't really been hitting the zone. There's a chopper foul on a curveball that was around the bottom of the zone. So 2-2 for Basallo. Again, with a good chance here to really break this game open. I think they showed Basallo put Finn on the scoreboard from the sequel trilogy, because it is Star Wars weekend there. Basallo in the 2-2 will knock this one high in the air over into center field. Just kind of flipped a curveball out there. That will bring in Taylor Ward for run number 2. So a sac fly for Basallo. Let's go O's indeed. Welcome, Connor, to the stream. So runners still in first and second, 2 outs, but the O's get a run. So 2 runs in the inning brings up Leody Taveras, who singled his last time he was up. That was a curveball basically in the right-handed hitter's batter's box, but Basallo, with plenty of power under him, just kind of flips his bat and knocks it to like deep center field. So you'll take it. I mean, you'd like a hit, but you'll take the run. So 2 outs here, first and second. Blue Jays first time allowing 2+ runs in the last 4 games. As that fastball is well above the zone for ball 1. Taveras flips over to the left-handed batter's box. Singled his last time he was up. Leody. I wonder if Leody and Voth ever faced against each other in the playoffs. When Voth was on the Orioles and Leody was on the Rangers. I'm curious. That curveball's outside of ball 2. Yeah. Still all balls, courtesy of Austin Voth, who is really looking like a double agent tonight for the Orioles. The sleeper cell in the warehouse is activated. Next pitch is outside for ball 3. Four-seamer that just ran away. I'm surprised the Blue Jays are not trying to use another reliever now. Like they're just leaving Voth to die at the moment. Just hanging him out to dry. So 3-0 count for Leote. I doubt he has the green light right now, given how Voth's pitching. 17 balls to 9 strikes, and a lot of those are swing and miss strikes as well. Leote actually squares to bunt. There is a fastball in the middle of the zone for strike 1. Interesting there. I mean, Leote's actually a pretty good bunter for the O's, but interesting on the 3-0. I doubt he shows here on the 3-1. I don't expect it to. Leote will knock this one over and caught on a line by Guerrero Jr. for out number 3. So Leote kind of got that off the end of the bat a little bit. O's do get 2. Would have liked a little bit more with bases loaded and nobody outs, and with how Voth was pitching, but it's better than nothing. Especially with how Trevor Rogers has been pitching so far. Again, got to knock on wood given how things can go. But so far, a good game for the O's. More runs than they scored last night, so I'll take that. That's for sure. So we go to the top of the 4th inning. It should be Ernie Clement, Vlad Guerrero Jr., and Kazuma Okamoto, the heart of the order for the Blue Jays. Meanwhile, I'm going to check my fantasy team real quick just to make sure I don't need to change anything around. Doesn't look like it. Jared Jones, I thought you were going to do something good, but you did not. I cannot have any good pitchers this week in fantasy. It's really frustrating. And at least Taj Bradley's also not pitching well. That helps. Let's see. That's not what I wanted. I don't need to go to Twitter just yet. I need to go to the out-of-town scoreboard to see how everyone else is doing. So the Guardians are up 4-0 over the Red Sox, who are just having a terrible stretch of games. Good for the O's because they're playing the Red Sox soon. Twins up 5-4 over the Pirates. Padres actually down 4-2 to the Nationals. Someone has the bases loaded. The Nats have the bases loaded at the moment. Angels and Rays tied at 1. Mets up 4-0 over the Marlins. Let's see. I think Max Meyer. That's who it is. Cubs up 4-3 over the Cardinals. And then Tigers and White Sox scoreless. Who scored for the Cardinals? Okay, good. It wasn't Weatherholt or Burleson because I benched both of them today. So they're showing something over there for the O's in the stands. Not sure. It's not, I mean, something good, I think, with charity and stuff. Melanie Newman is interviewing someone doing with like Harlan Park something with Baltimore, I don't know, but it is good, feel good stuff, I think. First pitch from Trevor Rogers to Ernie Clement is in there for strike 1 on looked like a sweeper, slider or something, whatever hard breaking ball it is. Let's see, Rogers sweeper, yeah. That one is knocked over to Gunnar Henderson, who I think catches it on a line on a changeup for out number 1. So 2 pitches, 1 out here to start the 4th inning for Trevor Rogers. 30 pitches only for Trevor as well. Fast game for Rogers right now. The Blue Jays have been very aggressive. Just the 1 hit, and it was a triple from Dalton Varsho that probably should have been caught by Leody Taveras. Luckily, the Rogers got out of it after that with a strikeout and a pop-out, I think is what it was. Guerrero will knock this one foul on a fastball for strike 1. Hello there, Sackboy. Are you? I see you have a Luffy picture. Are you a One Piece and a Little Big Planet fan? I am cheering for the Orioles, Mr. Sackboy55. I'm an Orioles fan. So it is right now. It is a good inning or good game for the O's. They're up 2-0 as Rogers throws ball 1 to Vlad Guerrero Jr. Who are you a fan of, Mr. Sackboy? Besides Monkey D. Luffy, because I'm pretty sure that's what you have as your profile picture. I might be wrong, but it looks like it. As Guerrero will flip this changeup up into the glove of Pete Alonso, who almost runs into Jackson Holiday, but it is instead just out number 2. Yes, I'm a One Piece fan as well, Sackboy. I'm not quite re-caught up with the anime. I got to the hiatus, like episode 1092 on Egghead. I don't know. Actually, I don't know how far you are. So first question before I go into that. How far are you into One Piece, Mr. Sackboy? Because I don't want to spoil anything if you haven't gotten that far. First pitch to Kazuma Okamoto was a sweeper, strike 1. So a couple sweepers in this inning. Yeah, O's and Tigers fan, definitely. Sorry to hear. It's not been the best stretch for either of those teams so far. There's ball one on a fastball upstairs to Okamoto. So you episode 852. Is that whole cake or is that Wano? It's around there. I forget. So Okamoto fouls this fastball back for strike 2. Yeah, I want to say it's like end of whole cake, beginning of Wano, because Wano's long. It's really long. I like it, but it's a long arc. Whole cake, I was not the biggest fan of that, if I'm being honest. 1-2 to Okamoto is knocked high and foul. So we still go 1 and 2. 37 pitches now for Rogers through 3 2/3. But yeah, I'm not fully caught up with One Piece again. I'm behind a couple. Episodes. Yeah, Wano's definitely a long one. There's ball 2 on a sweeper below the zone. I personally like Wano a lot better than Whole Cake. It's very long. There's a lot going on, but I like the art style change a lot when we get to Wano. And I think just the overall vibe is better. There's strike 3 on a sinker at the top of the zone. Trevor Rogers is cooking today. 4 scoreless, just 1 over the minimum, as he is through very quickly. We go to the bottom of the 4th. O's back up to bat. Yeah, who is your favorite character, Sackboy, in One Piece? I am curious. Is it Luffy? Is it the guy in your profile picture, or is it someone else? My favorite character. My top 2 are Brook and Zoro, by the way. They're my favorites. I think I like Brook more post-time skip. I liked Zoro more pre-time skip. All right. Yeah, Marineford is awesome. It's might be my second favorite of pre-time skip. Yeah, for me in Whole Cake, Big Mom was annoying. She wasn't my least favorite part about it. Yeah, Brooke is awesome, by the way. Good choice there. But my issue was I have a couple issues with Whole Cake. One of my issues is that the whole like stuff with Sanji, which is really cool, like getting his backstory with his family and stuff. I think that should have been a pre-time skip arc. Like it should have had that done before like Sabaody and Marineford. Just because it's like it feels a little out of place, and then a lot of the fighting pace, like the pacing for the fighting, is really bad, especially with the fights with Katakuri and Luffy. That fight takes so long. I was not a big fan of that fight. But it's like there's parts of Whole Cake that I like, but it's probably my least favorite of the post time skip arcs. But my favorite arc overall is Alabasta. That one is, I mean, really the whole like Baroque Works like mega arc is really good. And like everything with VV and then like the whale that I'm forgetting on. It's been a couple years since I watched. I watched it back in like 2024. So it's been a couple years, but I think it's what Baloo or maybe. And then but everything with Baroque Works, and then especially Alabasta is like my favorite. Yeah, it's. Like, I get what they're going for, and I think in the manga it's much better. I'm not a manga reader, as Cowserell knocked this first pitch from, I think both is still there. He knocks it high into left field, but fly out to the deepest part of the park. Yeah, Austin Voth is still in there to pitch. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Voth here in the bottom of the 4th. But yeah, I don't mind the idea of the fight between Luffy and Katakuri. It's just that a lot of it is like Luffy trying to figure out like advanced observation hockey, and like it just like you can tell where it's trying to go, because like Katakuri is basically just blatantly saying that he's looking at my attacks, he can see my attacks in advance, and Luffy's like, oh, what's going on? As Kobe May will take ball 1 on a fastball away, but Luffy's like, what is this? I can see the future. It's crazy. And then it's just a lot of time it's just Katakuri just spamming the same attack over and again, like the whole like hockey infused donuts or whatever. That gets old very quickly. Like Gear Force Snake Man is cool. I like that part of the fight, but it just takes a while to get there. As Mayo will ground this one over to Okamoto at third base, spins, throws, and will just barely get Kobe Mayo out there. Good play by the third baseman Okamoto. So quick 2 outs for Austin Voth, who really needed it after the long 3rd inning. So we'll bring up Jackson Holiday, who got the 3rd inning rally started last time he was up with a single. with 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th, still facing the former Oriole Austin Voth, who's pitched 37 pitches now, giving up 2 runs. Throws first pitch high for ball 1. Yeah, it's, I think definitely for that fight, it's the I forget which studio does One Piece, but they did drop the ball a little bit there. It was not the best one whatsoever, especially for like the big fight, like the big fight in that arc. Holiday swings through curveball for strike 1 as well. But yeah, it's because like Big Mom kind of fights a little bit, but she doesn't really have like the big fight until Wano, really. Slight spoilers, but not really. Holiday knocks this one high in the air, over into right field. There's a flag court shot for Jackson Holiday, headed toward Utah Street. That might have actually gotten to Utah Street. 3-0 Orioles. Holiday with a 2-for-2 game. Nice one right there as Holiday is storming back, making up for lost time. His second home run of the day. 4:06 for Jackson Holiday. Makes it 3-0 for the O's. Yeah, sorry about that. I was not thinking. That's my bad. But yeah, it's like Big Mom is. I don't mind her. She's an interesting character, but she doesn't do enough in Whole Cake, in my opinion. That's my bad, Zach Boy. Forgot about that. I got excited for someone to talk to One Piece too. So I wasn't expecting to talk One Piece during baseball. Ball 1 to Taylor Ward. By the way, on a sinker inside. So O's up 3-0 now. Ward will take strike 1. There's a good sweeper there at the top of the zone. Yeah, all good. But yeah, I think you'll like Wano. I think the fights are paced a lot better. There's just a lot of stuff going on in Wano, pretty much. It's the reason why it takes so long. But it's good. Strike 2 to Taylor Ward on a cutter in there. So Ward 1-for-1 with a walk, single and a walk for Ward. And a 1-2 hole at the moment, facing up against Austin Voth. Ward will ground this one over to short. That is fielded by Ernie Clement, who will throw Taylor Ward out at first base. So 3 outs, fly out, couple ground outs, but also a Jackson Holiday home run to make it 3-0 for the O's. Go to the top of the 5th. This game is going by pretty quickly, all things considered. Now we're in through 4, pretty much. Favorite Orioles player? That is a tough question. All time, I might say Adam Jones. But as of like right now, over like for this current iteration of the Orioles, I'd say it's been Felix Bautista, who is unfortunately on the injured list still. Don't know if we'll see him at all this year. The former closer for the Orioles, who is really good. He's just been injured. But like of active guys right now, also a good question. I'm not really sure. Yeah, like Bautista is technically current. He's just on the injured list. I think Adley might be my favorite right now. I love Adley. He's just so much fun to watch. I mean, they're all fun. Like, yeah. Who, Adley's or Felix's? Yeah, I mean, Felix is just really fun to. He's just so much fun to watch. He's so good. I'm so sad that injuries have taken him from us for extended periods of time. It's like he was legitimately in Cy Young conversations back in 2023 before he had Tommy John. It was kind of crazy. So, I mean, it's like the O's bullpen has been managing in his absence, especially with Rico Garcia. Rico's also been really good. And yeah, I'm jealous of you, Sackboy. I want Bautista's autograph. So I'm curious, because of your name, are you also a Little Big Planet fan? Because I know that is Sackboy is a character from that game. I've not played Little Big Planet, but I know of it. Yeah, I mean, I think it's also just that he's really large, so I think it doesn't help that he's throwing really hard too. But it's more like his shoulder. It's his shoulder inflammation is what got him this time around. Strike 1 to Dalton Varsho on a fastball from Trevor Rogers. Just 40 pitches through 4 innings. Varsho fouls a sweeper off for strike 2. So quick 0-2 hole. Yeah, I haven't gotten around to playing Little Big Planet yet, but I've yeah. I've wanted to. It looks very fun, but I just haven't gotten around to it. I only wound up getting a PS4, so I never had much to play it on. Clement will just barely stay, or sorry, Varsho will just barely stay alive on a foul tip. On looked like a sweeper there. So still 2-2. So, or sorry, 0-2, as that one is fouled off on a cutter. Just all over the place right now. I would certainly hope Trevor Rogers stays better. I mean, he's been pitching very well tonight. It was whenever you get to 2 strikes and 2 outs, it was not working, but he's been pitching well so far. Another foul ball courtesy of Dalton Varsho, who did tag him for that sweeper. So the one batter who has vexed Trevor Rogers so far. I don't know if it was something like he was tipping pitches, because it almost seemed like he was at some points, because it just felt like no matter what he threw, it was getting hit. So I don't know what's going on with Trevor Rogers as he spikes that sinker there for ball 1. But I mean, first 4 innings for him were really good, but it's 6 pitch roughly at battle for him against Varsho here. But again, Varsho is the one guy who has a hit off him so far tonight. Varsho will pop this one foul again on a cutter. It is also a lefty-lefty matchup. I guess that does actually favor Rogers, but I don't know. I mean, baseball's funky, so I'm not going to try and predict what's going on, but it might have been a pitch tipping. It might have just been a weird funk that he had. Varsho fouls off another fastball there, so still 1-2 is the count. Long battle here to start the 5th inning between Rogers and Varsho. This will be the 9th pitch of the at-bat between these two. A lot of foul balls. It's actually been, I think, 6 foul balls already. There's a sweeper, actually a changeup in the dirt for ball 2. So Rogers definitely struggled a lot in his bad starts, in his bad stretch over this past month or so with strikeouts. He gets Varsho to chop it back to him instead. So the 10th pitch, I believe, is finally the out on Dalton Varsho to start the 5th inning. So 10 pitches, 1 out here after a lot of very quick outs for Trevor Rogers earlier on in this game, but we'll certainly take the out. Still only 49 pitches through 4 1/3. So still plenty of room to go for Rogers here. Charles McAdoo will knock this first pitch up into foul territory over and right. That will actually hang up for Pete Alonso. Will make the out. So where Vlad Guerrero Jr. could not make the out on Kobe Mayo a couple innings ago, Alonso does make the out on the 1 pitch from Charles McAdoo in his 2nd major league at bat. Alonso almost overran it a little bit, but made the out. Does snow cone that a little bit, but Alonso, who's kind of been having a Gold Glove season actually, at first base, makes the out there for a quick out number 2. Rogers certainly likes that. Brings up Pinyango, who's 0 for 1 on the night. Takes ball 1 on a sweeper just outside. So Pinyango, who was the trade prize in exchange for Isaiah Kiner-Falefa from the Pirates back a couple years ago. Johendrick is the first name, which is a great first name. Takes strike 1 on a cutter there. 1-1 between... Actually, wait, hang on, never mind. It is not Pinyango. It is Miles Straw. I was off by a batter. My apologies. Straw takes ball 2. He is the righty. So, I was just off. Where is Straw? Yeah, Straw. He was Guardians trade. Who was he acquired from? Hang on a minute. Miles Straw. Takes ball 3 inside on a sinker. 3-1 count. Straw was cash considerations trade to the Blue Jays back in 2025. In a favorable count here against Trevor Rogers, 3-1 is knocked high in the air. Center field pretty deep, but not deep enough. Leody Taveras will get under it and make the out. I'm doing well, Kevin. Welcome to the party. We actually had a couple other chatters here early on. One of them was Connor. He was there for bit of an inning, and I think he left. We also had Sackboy for a while, a One Piece fan, so I was chatting with him about One Piece for a while. Don't know if Sackboy's still here, but been active so far. O's up 3-0. Trevor Rogers has very thankfully been pitching well. He's through 5 scoreless, just 1 over the minimum, and about 60 pitches as well. It's been a bullpen game largely, a little bit, kind of. I guess maybe it's just that Austin Voth has been the quote unquote, like, I mean, maybe it's Alex or Adam Macca was the quote unquote opener. Austin Voth was the quote unquote starter. I mean, Voth's gone 2 1/3. Macca went an inning and 2/3. Voth walked a lot of batters. He's been really struggling to find the strike zone. Walked in a run actually for the first run of the game, and then gave up a sac fly to Samuel Basayo for the second one. Then Jackson Holliday hit a fly court, potentially Utah Street. It was 406 home run to make it 3-0. So it has been a favorable Orioles matchup tonight against the Blue Jays as they look to even up this game. So Kevin, welcome to the show tonight. How are you doing? Yeah, I mean, the Blue Jays, I mean, they didn't hit all that well last night either, all things considered. They had the solo home run. And then Anthony Nunez just didn't have a good outing last night. But I mean, it's the Blue Jays pitching was what was really doing him, because this is the first time in 5 games now, I think, that the Blue Jays have allowed more than 2 runs. And yeah, they like Rogers just been pitching well, but it like sometimes you just need a bad lineup to find your get back game, and hopefully this is the get back game for Trevor Rogers. So far through 5, it has been that case. Looks like it might be a full moon as well. It is. Massen's showing the broadcast of it. It is very full at the moment. So Gunnar Henderson, for his 3rd time up, 0 for 1 with a walk, takes strike 1 from Austin Voth on a sinker at the bottom of the zone. So it looks like Voth is the bulk reliever for this one. I mean, Nunez is a rookie, so I get it, but I like him still. He's been good, been bad. Can someone in a Din Djarin cosplay out there, since it is Star Wars weekend at the Yard. But it definitely wasn't a good outing yesterday. I'm not going to defend that outing at all. That was rough. 1-1 for Gunnar, who takes ball 2 on a curveball below the zone. But I think maybe kind of rotate Nunez away from the high leverage relief spots for the moment. You just don't have, I don't know who else you trust besides Rico in higher leverage relief spots right now. Henderson will kind of fist this one over to Guerrero, who makes a nice leaping catch for out number 1. Kind of a jam shot on the inside part of the bat for out number 1 on the liner. Guerrero was shaded pretty far back as well. So not a very hard liner, but just not hit to the correct spot. But a good play nonetheless by Guerrero there, who is a former Gold Glove winner at first base. Makes a good play, because that was easy double if Guerrero does not make that play. Rutschman, who is 0 for 1, takes a sweeper inside. He's also 0 for 1 with a walk. Walked last time he was up against Austin Voth, former battery mate for a time in 2022 and 2023 when Voth was on the Orioles. Also grounded into a double play his first time up, did Adley. 50th pitch from Voth here is chopped back to Voth, who makes a good play there, throws it over to Guerrero for out number 2. So after a really long 3rd inning, Voth has been kind of powering through the Orioles order a good bit in the 4th and the 5th, outside of the one Jackson Holliday home run. So again, would like the offense to be a little bit better against Voth, but they're up 3-0, so I'm not going to complain too much. Voth has actually evened up his pitch totals now. It's 25 apiece at balls and strikes. Still not good, but it's better than it was before. Pete Alonso is 0 for 2. We'll look at strike 1 on a sinker at the bottom of the zone. So 0-1 on Alonso is definitely not at his best game so far. I've not seen an update actually on Cano at all. Might just be day-to-day at the moment. 1-1 on Alonso right now. Let me actually look that up, because I am curious, because I forgot about that. I'll probably look it up on ESPN. They might have it better. 1-1 to Alonso is curls in there with a sweeper for strike 2. Let's see. Because I don't think they put him on the injured list right now. He's not. Yeah, he's currently listed as day-to-day on ESPN. So I think it's hamstring discomfort is what they're saying. Yeah, Cano is actually he's the one that I'd also trust in high leverage spots right now. Alonso will chop this one foul on the 1-2 sweeper. So losing Cano definitely does hurt a good bit. I think right now they just recalled Albert. Well, actually not recalled. They re-signed Albert Suarez, who they had DFA'd, and he cleared waivers outright. So they re-signed him to a major league contract. Alonso knocks this one high over in the air into right field, deep right field. That will be gone. Wow, that is actually a home run for Pete Alonso. I did not think that was going to get out of there. So Alonso with a solo shot. It looked like it was kind of off the end of the bat and might have been like a deep double or a fly up, but that just kept going. So Alonso with another opposite field home run. That was not quite flag court area, a little bit left of that, but that was still pretty much well out of there. 7th opposite field home run in the majors, or in the season for Alonso, 2nd in the majors. So Alonso, yeah, definitely needed that. Always could use another home run there. So a couple of solo shots of the Orioles in back-to-back innings brings up Samuel Basallo, who's 1 for 1 with a sac fly. Takes curveball outside for ball 1. That was a fastball that Alonso, again, off the end of the bat, and it just went. So I'll take it. And we're almost here at June, and Alonso certainly does have a lot of power. Balls might start flying a little bit more. It is really nice there as well. It's like mid-70s in the area. 2-0 on Basallo at the moment as well. So O's are firmly in the driver's seat tonight at the moment. Basallo in a very favorable count as well. Basallo will look at strike 1, a sinker at the bottom of the zone. Good pitch there from both. So Blue Jays definitely not going their way tonight, which I will certainly take. O's look to even up this 4-game series after game 2. 2-1 to Basallo is knocked high in the air. That will get deep. Will it get out? Yes, it will. That's basically the same thing Alonso did, just the opposite side of the field. Since Basallo's a lefty, another fastball off the end of the bat, and Basallo just kind of powers it out there, short of the bird bath, but that little stoop area to the brought back infield part of the wall. 381 for Basallo. Back-to-back solo shots that did not look like they should have been home runs, but they were in the end. So I guess the baseballs are juiced up. 5-0 now for the Orioles here in the bottom of the 5th inning. That's basically the same exact thing that happened with Alonso. Like, didn't it look like it was just gonna be a deep fly ball out, and instead it just kept going for the for a home run. Basallo and Alonso chest bump. That is, I mean, that's, you get the power hitters that they can do that. Leody Taveras takes ball 1, and it's actually, that was a curveball outside of the zone, and Basallo just muscles it out of there. That is something. I'll take it. Taveras on the 1-0. He looks at ball 2 on a 4-seamer. That might have actually been a sinker at the bottom of the zone, or below the zone. Yep, the typical O's with 2 outs scoring runs there. So Taveras will swing through a sinker there for strike 1. Good pitch there from both. Actually, pretty much similar to the last pitch he threw. This time, Taveras actually swung at it. Taveras is 1 for 2 with a single and a lineout. So O's having a good party tonight. Love that. Taveras looking to make it 3 homers in a row here. That'd be kind of funny. Swings over a curveball there for strike 2. O's just 1 strikeout so far tonight, and it has been Pete Alonso. His first time up. Rogers has pitched 3 strikeouts so far tonight. 2-2 to Taveras is inside with a curveball for ball 3. So full count for Leody as the bottom of the 5th continues on. Colton Cowser, who's 0 for 2 with a couple flyouts, is on deck. He would have to, he would only bat if Taveras were to reach, and he will with a sinker below the zone for ball 4. So 3 straight 2-out base runners, technically, pair of home runs, and then a walk. Might get we're getting a call to the bullpen for the Blue Jays as they will finally show Austin Voth some mercy. Brings up Colton Cowser. Yeah, Blue Jays, the injury report, Kevin, it is, yeah, it's rough. I think like Blue Jays, Orioles, and Tigers are 3 like the top, like most injured teams in baseball at the moment. Like Blue Jays, obviously they're missing. Just had Dylan Cease go down with an injury. They had Alejandro Kirk go down with an injury as well. Ball one inside to Colton Cowser on a cutter. I forget who else. I think there was another like starting pitcher that they had that went down with an injury as well. But yeah, if I go to the injured, like Alejandro Kirk, Anthony Santander, old friend. Anthony, he went down. Jose Barrios as well. Shane Bieber too. Cody Ponce as well. Max Scherzer. So like that, like between Barrios, Bieber, Cease, and Scherzer, that is like a full starting rotation right there for the Blue Jays, and they're all on the injured list, which is rough to see. And then also like Alejandro Kirk and Anthony Santander. So that's a lot of power they're missing in their bats. Cowser on the 2 will chop this one over to shortstop, fielded by the shortstop Clement, but the throw is offline. Guerrero fields it, but he was off the bag, so it is an infield single for Colton Cowser on the liner there, or the grounder, I should say. No challenge from the Blue Jays either, as Clement, I mean, not just kind of off balance throw. Probably, I mean, maybe had time. And I think Cowser he actually just beats the throw. Never mind. Guerrero was on the bag. Cowser just beats the throw. Yeah, no, I'm right there with you, Kevin. Yeah, okay. Cowser shatters his bat and actually manages to beat out the throw. So good work from Colton there. Brings up Kobe Mayo, who is 0 for 2. Did have a home run last night. Both still into pitch. Throws ball one on a cutter outside. But Addison Barger as well for the Blue Jays is on the injured list as well. So yeah, not like the reason why the Blue Jays are not doing as well as they'd like. Part of that reason is injured, as Mayo will pop this one over into shallow left field on the curveball for out number 3. So O's get a couple extra 2 out base runners, but nothing more. However, pair of solo home runs between Pete Alonso and Samuel Basayo, opposite field home runs both, makes it 5-0 Orioles as we go into the top of the 6th in this pretty rapid game between the O's and Blue Jays. Blue Jays so far, just 1 hit. O's 8, 5 runs. Trevor Rogers looks to continue his good start with another good inning here. Hopefully it continues. So quick check again on the scoreboard elsewhere, see how games are going. Red Sox scored 3, so they made it competitive. It's now 4-3. Guardians there in the bottom of the 5th. Braves up 6-3 over the Reds. They're in the top of the 6th. Twins still up 5-4 over the Pirates, top of the 6th. Padres and Nationals tied at 4 apiece in the top of the 5th. Angels up 2-1 over the Rays, bottom of the 5th. Actually like that a lot. Love that score. Mets up 5-2 over the Marlins, bottom of the 4th. Cubs up 4-3 over the Cardinals, middle of the 4th. I think that score is still the same from the last time I checked. Tigers up 2-0 over the White Sox, bottom of the 3rd. So Sackboy will certainly love that. It's an Orioles and Tigers fan. Rangers up 2-0 over the Royals, bottom of the 1st. Brewers and Astros scoreless, top of the 2nd. We'll have Giants and Rockies at 8:40. Yankees and Athletics 9:40. Diamondbacks, Mariners 10:10, and then Phillies and Dodgers 10:15 for the rest of the day. Let's see, Twitter space. Definitely a lot of good Orioles updates. I'm sure O's fans are pretty happy with how this game is going today, especially compared to yesterday. Yesterday was not the best game overall, all things considered. Today it has been much better on both sides of the ball, really. Like the defense has been good. Taylor Ward had a really nice play early on defensively. Gunnar Henderson, Jackson Holiday, overall just been good. Been a good game for the O's. Obviously the offense, 5 runs as well. First pitch from Trevor Rogers here to start the 6th inning is a strike into Pinyango, the trade recipient for Isaiah Kiner-Falefa from the Pirates back in 2024. As Pinyango will foul this 4-seamer back and away for strike 2. Yo Hendrick is 0 for 1 on the night, his second time through the order. Lined out to Kobe Mayo, his first time up. Will ground over to Kobe Mayo again, who catches it on a line. So back-to-back outs to Kobe Mayo for Pinyango. Yeah, Bassett. And I said this earlier, you just weren't here, Kevin, but I was not sad about Bassett's performance at all. It was just the offense couldn't do anything. But yeah, Kobe Mayo catches the liner there, shaded basically in the shortstop spot. So the shift was on, and even if the shift wasn't on, Gunnar Henderson was probably going to be there and make the catch for out number 1 on just 3 pitches. 58 pitches through 5 1/3, sorry, not 2/3, for Trevor Rogers. 59th pitch is a sweeper below the zone for ball 1 to Brendan Valenzuela, the catcher for the Blue Jays, who's 0 for 1. There's exact same pitch taken again for ball 2. Valenzuela hitting 242 is, again, seen a lot more action as of late with Alejandro Kirk injured. Big injury there for the Blue Jays. Ball 3 on a sinker below the zone for Rogers against Valenzuela. So 3-0 count. No walks yet for the Blue Jays here tonight. 3 strikeouts. Just a lot of kind of soft contact, a lot of hitting to where the Orioles defenders are. There's strike 1 on a 4-seamer at the bottom of the zone. Looked more like almost a sinker, actually, than a 4-seamer, but it's fastball there. Makes it 3-1. After this, it will be George Springer to flip the batting order over once more. As Valenzuela knocks this one over into right field, Cowser has to race for it. This is going to be off the wall for the second hit. Cowser misplays it slightly, so this will be a double for Valenzuela for the second hit of the night for the Blue Jays. So his 3rd double of the season. Both hits for the Blue Jays tonight have been extra base hits, a triple and a double. And that was just a fastball that Valenzuela squared up on. Knocks off the wall. Colton Cowser just wasn't... ricochet off the wall wasn't quite to where Cowser was expecting to, so it gets by him. And would have given him a play at second base. First pitch is a strike to George Springer for on the fastball. So it's nothing easy to for the wall, but yeah. I wouldn't panic just yet, Kevin. I wouldn't panic just yet as Springer swings through a sweeper there for strike 2. Still a 5-run lead. It's only 1 runner at the moment. And he says Trevor just got behind on the count there. First time allowing 0 runs through 5 innings pitched since opening day for Trevor Rogers. So easily his best start since then, I'd say. Unless he just has a major blow up here, but I don't think he will. There's a changeup in the dirt for ball 1. So Springer, who is 0 for 2 on the night so far, is in a 1-2 hole at the moment. 66 pitches for Trevor Rogers. Looking to get out number 2 here in the top of the 6th. Next pitch is popped high in the air behind home plate. That will get out of play. So we will go again. So Rogers hit the brain rot number at 67 pitches. I was actually just recently at 67 subscribers as well. I'm actually up to 69 now, I believe. At least last time I checked. Bit of self-promotion there. The 1-2 to Rogers to Springer is just below the zone with a changeup. I think Basaya's going to challenge this. Didn't actually catch it either, but I think this is going to stand as a ball. Looked like it was a little low. And it will. Actually, pretty decently low. Those lost back-to-back challenges from Adley last night, which is kind of rough to see. 1.8 inches below the zone. Yeah, it's not 2 outs yet, but 2 strikes. Rogers has had a couple issues so far with 2 strikes. Definitely this season. That pitch is inside of the sinker for ball 3, so it's definitely his worst inning as a whole so far, I'd say. He's in a full count here to Ernie Clement. Or it's not, so George Springer, Ernie Clement on deck there, who's showing him, but yeah. Springer in a full count here with Valenzuela at second. 3-2-2. Springer is fouled off of his foot, so a little painful there. We will go again at the full count. So 70 pitches now for Rogers here in the 6th. Definitely his longest. He did have the one really long battle against Dalton Varsho, 10-pitch at bat that did end in an out, foul out. But this has definitely been his worst looking inning so far. This one is chopped foul again on a cutter. Does feel like a lot this season when Trevor Rogers is like not quite able to put guys out. He just has a lot of pitches around the zone that are just getting fouled off. So I don't know how exactly that like correlates, but it's just kind of like, it's not even that he usually misses badly a lot of the time. He just has like a lot of pitches that are just not quite able to get swings and misses on. This one is high for ball 4. We'll get Basayo to trot out to the mound to chat with Rogers, who's, again, run into a little bit of trouble here to start the 6th. Still has not given up a run yet so far, not knocking on wood very furiously to hope that I don't jinx it. But first and second, 1 out. Does get the force out at third now, which is nice at least. And I think Basayo, good mound visit here just to, probably calm Rogers down, tell him that he's, get back to doing what you're doing. Yep, the O's defense, 6 double play groundouts in the last 3 games, according to the graphic. 6 in the previous 16 before that. So we'll see if Rogers can induce a groundout from Ernie Clement, who's 0 for 2 on the night. Swings through a changeup there for strike 1. So first walk issued by Trevor Rogers tonight was to George Springer, who's hitting just 208. The 290 hitter, Ernie Clement, definitely a bit dangerous here. Homered last night, if I remember correctly. 16 of 20 first pitch strikes for Trevor Rogers, as there is a chopper over to Jackson Holliday at second, on to first, double play. Perfect timing. Rogers gets through 6 scoreless. Very, very nice there. Weak little ground ball right to Jackson Holliday at second base. Rogers, 2 hits, 1 walk, 6 scoreless, leaving only 2 on base as a whole. Should actually be 3 on base for for the Blue Jays there. The Masson team was goofed on the graphic a little bit. But yeah, very nice outing there for Trevor Rogers. Quality start, his first in a while. I'm sure he loves that more than anyone else in the world right now, is to pitch a gem right now. Probably going to come back out for the 7th, I'd assume, given that he's only, I don't even think he's broke 80 pitches right now. The O's admin is having fun with Star Wars captions on the homers. So it should be, I think it's, Holiday, Ward, and Henderson should be up to bat now, which was the rally guys in the 3rd inning when Austin Voth really, really struggled. So Voth winds up going 3 1/3, 5 hits, 5 runs, all earned, 4 walks, no strikeouts, gives up 3 home runs to Holiday, Basayo, and Alonso. So new pitcher is Connor Siebold, who is 4-seam change, slider, and cutter are his 4 pitches of choice. Let's see, Connor, because I know nothing about him. Connor Siebold is on the Blue Jays. Was on the, okay, I wasn't wrong. I knew the name because we saw Siebold last week. I'm pretty sure. He was DFA'd by the Tigers back on the 24th of May, so that was back on Sunday. So I'm pretty sure we saw him last stream for the Tigers. I was looking, I was like, that name sounds really familiar, but I don't know why, because we haven't seen the Blue Jays yet. But I'm pretty sure Siebold pitched last week for the Tigers against the Orioles on when I was doing the stream last Friday. So he's back again on a Friday night in Camden Yards, pitching against the Orioles, now with the Blue Jays. So throws ball 1 to Jackson Holliday outside with a 4-seam. So yeah, he was acquired just 2 days ago on Wednesday. Is actually traded for Yuanmi Vasquez. So I guess he didn't outright clear waivers there. Ball 2 below to Jackson Holliday. So 2-0 count. Let me see if I go to his game by game. See if he did pitch back on Friday. So I was going to say, his name sounded really familiar. So yeah, former Detroit Tigers pitcher to start the season. Now on the Blue Jays. Holliday takes strike 1 on changeup in the zone. Let's see, game log. Last time he pitched was last Friday. Gave up 3 hits, 1 run in an inning pitched against the Orioles. Holliday will knock this one over to Guerrero at first base. He will race to the bag for out number 1. So First pitch out for Siebold brings up Taylor Ward, who is 1 for 2 with a walk. Had a hard single his first time up to lead off for the O's in the game, though got erased on the base path due to an Adley Rutschman double play in the first inning. But scored was the second run score off the sac fly, as he will knock this one high over into center field. This will be Dalton Varsho getting Taylor Ward out there on the 5th pitch from Connor Siebold. So he's having a much more successful time in his second trip to Camden, is Siebold, in a different uniform. Brings up Gunnar Henderson, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. So Henderson, who's been better overall as of late, still hasn't, been quite as good as, you expect for Gunnar, but has definitely been having a better stretch. Definitely better May than April, I'd say. Takes slider for strike 1 at the top of the zone. But overall, I mean, he's had a couple, homered twice on Wednesday, has had a couple multi-hit games here and there. Will knock this one high over into left field, but it will hang up for the left fielder, Miles Straw. So a quick 3 outs there for Siebold in his return to Camden. In the bottom of the 6th will bring us back over to the 7th. Should be Trevor Rogers to pitch at least part of the 7th inning. Don't know how long or how deep he's going to go in total, but I assume he's going to pitch at least one batter. Should be Guerrero, Okamoto, and Varsho are the batters due up. Varsho does have the triple. Otherwise, Guerrero and Okamoto do not have a hit yet between those two. Yeah, I agree. I think the power's starting to get there a little bit more for the offense, Kevin. I agree that runners in scoring position. We saw a lot of singles in this game, but I think the clutch hitting has been getting there, but you'd still like it to be a little bit more consistent. I think, every team would probably want that as well. That's not like an Orioles specific thing, but, like the O's for their 100-win season, or 101-win season to be specific, back in 2023, they were incredibly good at hitting with runners in scoring position. So you'd like it to get a little bit better compared to how it's been over the past couple of years. So just checking up on Twitter again. Is there? Persona 6 got announced, or is that just? No, okay. It's just I think someone wishing for it. All right. So yeah, I don't see why this wouldn't be Trevor Rogers coming back out to pitch. And I'm certainly excited to see him go more than 6 innings here. See if he can put up another scoreless inning. That would be really cool. Yeah, definitely looks like it's Trevor Rogers. Rogers against Guerrero for the 3rd time. Swings through a changeup for strike 1 on the 75th pitch for Trevor Rogers. Yeah, definitely going at least one more batter, probably multiple, depending on how this goes. Again, it's obviously all that is depending on how it goes, how the at-bats wind up. Guerrero fists this one over through the right field side for a base hit on the ground ball. So leadoff man on, I believe, for the first time for the Blue Jays tonight. Guerrero gets his first hit of the night as well on the first single of the night for the Blue Jays. So they, as a team, are a home run away from the cycle, but that is not exactly the result you want to see when it's only just been 1 double, 1 triple, and 1 single. Tyler Wells warming in the bullpen for the Orioles, so one of the lower leverage guys. As Okamoto knocks one high over into left field. That is not good there. And that is a 2-run home run for Cosmo Okamoto. This game suddenly got interesting again. It is 5-2. So just a 3-run game. That was, not even sure what pitch that was, but Okamoto just squared it up there. So unfortunately, Trevor Rogers pitches 6 good innings. The 7th has not been good so far. Single and then a home run. Okamoto his 12th of the season. That was, what pitch was that? That looked like, just a fastball in the zone, and Okamoto just squares up around there. So that's been the Trevor Rogers over the past couple of starts, is getting hammered like that. Still only 77 pitches, so he's going to stay out. Dalton Varsho squares to bunt, takes strike one on the fastball there. See if he gets at least one out here. But hey, it was a good 6 innings at least. I'll say that. It was a good 6 innings, but that was just deflating right there. As Varsho grounds this one foul. Very hard foul ball. Past the first base line. But Okamoto, I mean, that's what the Blue Jays brought him in to do, was hit dingers, and that's what he's been doing, what he did right there. So Varsho triple and a ground out. It was a 10-pitch ground out to, or no, that was, yeah, it was a 10-pitch ground out, I think. Never mind. Anyway, 0-2 is outside with a sweeper for ball 1. Who was the flyout then? I don't know. Anyway, it was a ground out to the pitcher last time he was up for Dalton Varsho. 80 pitches now for Trevor Rogers, who's went 6 scoreless, now has gone 6-2 earned. And that is a fair ball from Dalton Varsho over to the left side by the third base bag. So 3 straight hits for Trevor Rogers. So Toronto is now a triple away from hitting for the cycle this inning, as Albert has not moved from his perch just yet. Looking to see if Trevor Rogers can figure it out here. That looked like another fastball that was just hit well. Outside part of the zone. Knocked right over the third base bag. Yeah, that is just got to hold the lead. Basayo's out to talk with Rogers again, as Charles McAdoo is up to bat. He's over 2 on the night. Rogers has had his number, but this has been very different. This has been the Trevor Rogers over the past 6 starts compared to the Trevor Rogers earlier in this game. That was the Trevor Rogers of last year. So the Jekyll and Hyde persona is showing up today, I guess, for Trevor Rogers. I guess, I don't know. Baseball's weird. It's really weird. So it's hopefully Rogers can at least get 1 out here before Tyler Wells comes on. So again, Rogers has kind of had McAdoo's number in the first 2 at-bats, and this is also McAdoo's first major league game of his career. Takes strike 1 on pitch in the zone, well in the middle of the zone. Again, just 82 pitches for Rogers, so it's not like pitch count is an issue here, but just with how he's been pitching this inning, it's not going to be surprising that he'll be taken out soon. Ball 1 on a changeup below the zone as well. Miles Straw, who's over 2, is on deck. So it's not like these guys have even really squared up on Rogers all that much this game. They've just been having a good inning against him right now. 3 straight hits. And McAdoo knocks one high over the air, deep to right field. That will get Kelch to the wall, and he will not get it. So that is a 2-run home run for Trevor Rogers, or for Charles McAdoo in his major league debut. 5-4. This game suddenly went from easy to not. That really sucks. So Toronto now has made this game a 1-run game, and that really sucks. It's Trevor Rogers. I don't even know how that happens, man. And it's not even like his 2-out curse either. That's just so strange. That's a fastball in the zone. I got nothing there. That's just so strange. Like, I don't know how you pitch so well through 6 innings and then don't in 1 inning. That not even a pitch count issue. It's like, that's so strange. And I got nothing. I'm speechless right now. They'll bring up Miles Straw, and we'll take Trevor Rogers out of the game. So gives up 4 runs in the 7th. Makes it a 1-run game. Tyler Wells on the pitch. Unfortunately, this game just got interesting. I really don't like that. So that was a strange one. So Tyler Wells on the pitch. Did not have a great outing last time he was up during that extra innings fiasco. 4-seamer, cutter, changeup, slider, curveball. Will have to face Straw, Pinango, and Valenzuela since there are still no outs in this inning. So Rogers actually no longer a quality start, which is kind of crazy. Had gone 6 innings scoreless. Had just what? I got nothing. I got nothing for that. That is so strange. I mean, I'm speechless. I have no idea how that works. What is going on there? Oh, never mind. Very curious for a sec. Okay. So Tyler Wells on the pitch, 19 games out of the bullpen, 3.2 ERA, 25 and a third innings pitched, 1.14 whip, opponents hitting 247, 8.9 strikeouts per nine, 2.1 walks per nine, has given up 3 home runs. So, yeah, and that's got to suck for Trevor Rogers because, again, he's pitched so well through 6 innings and then just gives up a pair of 2-run home runs to make this 5-4. First pitch pop up from pinch hitter Lukes. Samuel Basayo will complete the flyout there. So Straw is pinch hit for I think it's Nathan Lukes. I think that's his first name. Yeah, Nathan Lukes. So Wells gets the first out of the inning there, which is good. Love that. 1 pitch, 1 out. Let's go 2 pitches, 2 outs here. On don't know if Pinyango is gonna pinch hit or get pinch hit for or not. Nope, Pinyango is still in there. So he is 0 for 2 on the night. Miles Straw is out. Nathan Lucas is in, and also out of the inning at least. Strike 1 there on a fastball to Pinyango. So again, O's still leading at least, but this game is suddenly a 1-run game again. Pinyango, who has the Stormtrooper icon on the big scoreboard there for Star Wars night, which is funny. Pinyango skies this one up in the air and foul on a changeup. Quick 0-2. So up to bat for the O's in the bottom of the 7th should be... I actually have no idea. It might be Adley. Maybe. I don't know. I kind of lost track there. The 0-2 to Pinyango is fouled back on the cutter for, again, just 0-2. After this, it will be Brandon Valenzuela, who's 1 for 2 on the day with a double. Yennier Cano. So actually, there we go. There's the answer, Kevin. Cano is back in the bullpen and warming at the moment. So he will be the next pitcher up. Hopefully we'll see him just in the 8th inning. As Pinyango strikes out on a cutter, just got below that there for strikeout number 2. Rico, I'm okay with him going 8th and 9th, but I'm also okay with Cano here coming in the 8th. I like him. I like him as a setup man and Rico as the closer right now. Up until Helsley gets back. No idea when he's coming back. I think like a couple weeks for now still. But yeah, the answer to Cano's health issues is that he is healthy and pitching right now. There is first pitch from Valenzuela is grounded over to Gunnar Henderson, who throws him out. So Wells comes in with a 1-2-3 outing in relief. So Blue Jays make this game close. Still down by 1 are the Blue Jays, as Trevor Rogers has his good outing spoiled, unfortunately. But again, he's still in line for the win. Just would have liked to have had not given up those 4 runs. But we'll see if the O's can give him a bit of an extra cushion here, because that would be good. That would certainly be good here. It should be... Let's see. Ward is 1 for 3 with a walk. Gunner's 0 for 3 with a walk. So yeah, I think it should be Adley, Pete, and Sam. So Rutschman, Alonso, and Basayo should be up to bat, I think. Because Gunner, what did Gunner do last time? He grounded out, I think, right? Yeah. Pretty sure that's what he did. So it should be Adley, who is does have an RBI. Wait, when did he have an RBI? Did he had the RBI walk, right? Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So see if we can get some more points back here, some runs back, monolize points. I was looking at fantasy team. That's why I said points. I'm not Tony Mansolino. Don't worry. Oh my god, I cannot choose a good pitcher this week at all for fantasy either. I don't know. I guess Luis Severino hasn't started yet. Who's pitching next week? Do Mitch Keller? He's been pitching well. Let's see. Who should I go with next for tomorrow? Foster Griffin. I might go. Do I want to go Foster Griffin? Bailey Ober? He hasn't pitched well the last 2 times. I'll go with Foster Griffin. Might be a bad idea. But I have not been making good choices at all over the past couple times. So I get Jared Jones out of there. Him in a solid 0 points. All right. So tomorrow will be, I think, like a 4 o'clock start roughly for the. I think it's like 4:05 is the start of the game for the O's against the Blue Jays. Then Sunday, I think, is like a 12:15 start for this 4-game series between their division rival Blue Jays and Orioles. It is Adley Rutschman, who swapped over to the left side against Siebold. Takes strike 1 on a slider there. So Siebold, who got 3 outs on 7 pitches in the bottom of the 6th. Hopefully, the O's can rough him around a little bit here. Adley will look at ball 1 on a changeup down and away. So Charles McAdoo, his first hit in the bigs is a 2-run home run. Orioles looking to get some runs back here. Adley takes outside again with a changeup. It's 2-1 in this bullpen game for the Blue Jays. What was looking to be a pretty easy win for the Orioles through 6 suddenly turned into not quite as easy. 3-1 for Adley now on a fastball outside. Again, O's still winning. Have their high leverage relievers up with Cano and Garcia, but would love another run or 2 here in these last couple innings. 3-1 for Adley. Again, is 0 for 2, does have a walk. Will check swing, but is going to be a strike nonetheless on the slider in the zone. So full count now for Adley. After that, it is Alonso and Basayo, both of whom homered last time they were up. Certainly wouldn't mind another couple homers for from those guys again. Braves now up 8-3 against the Reds. Padres and Nats tied 5-5 as well. Rutschman will take a walk. This is going to be challenged and might be overturned. There's a decent chance it's going to be overturned on the ABS challenge. And it will, unfortunately. So Adley will strike out looking on a fastball at the bottom of the zone. So the walk is flipped into a strikeout there, unfortunately. Brings up Pete Alonso. 1 for 3 with a home run. Has also struck out. Alonso will take up high for ball 1 on a fastball. And Oriole Park that has definitely gotten a lot more tense as of late. So definitely need the big guys to get some more hits here. Ball 2 on a cutter down and away. 15 pitches now for Siebold in relief. Alonso is looking to double up on homers here, I assume. I think your first name is Mason, right? Fluharty. He's warming in the bullpen for the Blue Jays. Next pitch is knocked foul. Cutter knocked foul behind home plate. Mason Fluharty is warming in the bullpen for Toronto. He will be in relief for Connor Siebold eventually. So 2-1-2. Alonso swings through a fastball there, up by his hands for strike 2. So Fluharty has been on Blue Jays for over a year or 2 now. Yeah, definitely could use a run back after that 4-run top of the 7th. Samuel Basayo, who's 2 for 2 with a walk and a home run, or it's 2 for 2 with a sac fly, is on deck. He will bat no matter what. Alonso in the 2-2 at the moment will chop this one over to shortstop. Ernie Clement fields it. Throw over to first base is in time for out number 2. So the bases are empty for Samuel Basayo, who has been productive in all 3 of his at-bats so far. Let's see if he'll be productive again. We'll get a bullpen or a pitching substitution as well. So Mason Fluharty is in. Connor Siebold is out. Siebold pitches well in relief. in his second time here this year. Second time in a week, pretty much. We'll bring in Mason Fluharty. So yeah, Seabold goes an inning and 2/3, 1 strikeout, no hits, no runs. So he's certainly given the Blue Jays a chance, unfortunately. See if the O's can rally here and hold on to win. So Fluharty is a lefty reliever with some pretty good baseball savant numbers. Cutter, sweeper, changeup are his 3 pitches of choice. But facing a red-hot hitter tonight in Samuel Vasile. We'll see if he's able to get some more going there. So again, O's still have the lead, but I'm not nearly as confident as I was like 20 minutes ago. Yeah. Just, of course, because Trevor Rogers has the one bad stretch in the 7th, everyone's going to hate on him now. But I'm still choosing to believe in Rogers because again, we saw what he could be last year, and it obviously has not been good this year. But the today outside of the 7th inning was certainly promising. We'll see if he can build on that next time. For now, though, the O's need to close this game out with a couple good more performances from the bullpen and some more, maybe a run or 2 more. Mason Fluharty, 29 games pitched, 4.58 ERA, and some more stats that went away. Sayo takes strike 1 on a cutter. Good pitch there right at the inside of the zone. Again, Sayo 2 for 2. Single, sac fly, home run. 275 average. 9 home runs on the season. Sayo will take ball 1 on a sweeper that bounces off and away and out of there. Yeah, I mean, I think the reason why I think was going 7 there was because his pitch count was so low because the Blue Jays were being so aggressive. But I could see them just going 6 innings no matter what next time. Sayo will chop this one. Slow roller to shortstop. Ernie Clement was shaded well. Good play there to get Basayo out, who's certainly not a fast runner there. The second baseman, McAdoo, actually missed the dive attempt on the ball, but Clement was there to back him up. So unfortunately, the O's get down in order there in the bottom of the 7th. Will be Yennier Cano on to pitch. Should be the top of the order in Springer, Clement, and Guerrero. They're showing a Steven Spielberg trailer, I think. Oh, yes, the new movie director. What is it called? Disclosure Day. That's what it is. Which I've heard is good. I don't know too much about it, but I mean, Steven Spielberg, he always is pretty good. Cano with a sinker, splitter, slider, and 4-seam. Sidearm delivery. Yep, 6 outs, all they need. 6 outs, no runs given up. Can the top 2 guys in the Orioles bullpen in Cano and Garcia get it done? We shall see. I would certainly hope so. Would love that. Let's see. I mean, I just checked the scoreboard, so it's all good. So it should be, yeah, it'll be top of the order for the Blue Jays here as they look to try and come back in this game. Would really suck if they did. I do not want that to happen. I do not like the Blue Jays at all, man. They're just not fun to watch. They're just really annoying. Yeah, definitely don't want to lose on Star Wars weekend. Can't lose on Star Wars weekend. Not for me. So need some good pitching performances here. It's really outside of the 1 inning so far. It's been good. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully Cano's hamstring is fine as well. Obviously, it's fine enough that he's pitching, but didn't pitch well last time when he had the hamstring injury on whenever it was Friday, I think. Or no, it was Sunday, I think. Yeah, it was the first game of the doubleheader, I think, on Sunday. So Cano, pretty good stats this year. Is definitely having a bounce back year. Throws strike one on a splitter there to George Springer, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. No swing there from Springer at all. Blaze Alexander in for Kobe Mayo at third as a defensive replacement. Next pitch is just in there on a sinker for strike two. Nice pitch there. Might have been a ball. Probably could have challenged that. Might have gotten it. Either way, it is called strike two. So quick 0-2 hole to the one hitter, George Springer. Righty on righty matchup here. Next pitch is outside with a slider for ball one. No swing. So Springer has not lifted the bat off his shoulders yet, so to speak, in a 1-2 hole. Cano primarily throws the sinker, throws the splitter a good bit as well. But love that side action sinker. Throws it there, and splitter actually, and that is grounded for a single hard grounder over to Taylor Ward in left. Splits short and third. So leadoff man on again for the Blue Jays here. Cano is a ground ball pitcher, so the double play is in effect. Blue Jays have grounded into a double play already this game. That was back in the 6th, if I remember correctly. I think it was actually Ernie Clement who did as well. So certainly wouldn't mind that right here. So Clement, who is 0 for 3 on the night, will actually knock a single there. They were showing a commercial, and in the first pitch from Clement, it is a single to basically the same spot. So Cano gives up back-to-back singles here. First and second, nobody out. Brings up Vlad Guerrero Jr., who is 1 for 3. Tying run is in scoring position now. O's still searching for their first out here in the top of the 8th. Guerrero singled his last time he was up. Definitely not going the Orioles' way right now in this last stretch. First pitch to Guerrero is knocked over into left field. That is down for a base hit. That is going to tie the game. And that is actually, spike throw there. So that is actually going to give the Blue Jays the lead on a 2 RBI double. So O's blow the 5-run lead in the span of 2 innings. Double play is no longer in effect. And that was, four-seamer at the bottom of the zone. That's just a really good hit by Guerrero. Can't do much about that. So that was honestly a decent pitch by Cano. It's just a better hit by Guerrero, and the O's suddenly now trail. This sucks. This absolutely sucks. Brings up Kazuma Okamoto, who also homered last time he was up. We get a pitch meeting or mound visit from the infield as well. Yeah, Drew French is up there. What in the world happened? What in the world happened here? So who is that? Oh, is that Keegan Aiken warming? Which is not a good sign if you're the Orioles. Keegan Aiken's warming. As the Orioles blow this lead. And still do not have an out here in the 8th inning with Guerrero on second base. So it was really good 6 innings, and it has been terrible since. Outside of Tyler Wells pitching well. Honestly, it would have been interesting if they just kept Tyler Wells in. I get the move to Cano because he's been good so far this season, just has not been good tonight. Throws ball 1 to Okamoto inside. Really? This just sucks. Strike 1 there on a sinker. So there's no guarantee we even the O's can get out of here without giving up another run with Guerrero on second base with how they're pitching right now. 1-1 to Okamoto is knocked foul. Sinker for strike 2. This is ridiculous. Like, I feel like the O's don't usually blow that many big leads this season. I mean, they don't usually have that many big leads, but when they do, they're usually pretty solid. So this feels like new territory this season for the O's. They don't usually do that too much. There's a slider well outside, not competitive at all for ball 2. And it's a couple singles and then a double. All hit basically to the exact same spot over the pull side over in left field. That's what's done it so far. Okamoto will chop this one back to Cano. Swinging bunt here. Cano will throw Okamoto out at first. Does advance Guerrero over to third, who slid in for some reason. I'm not really sure why. So there's not really any chance for Cano to get Guerrero out at third. Would have liked to have gotten Guerrero out. It was a late break from Guerrero. Not really sure what he's looking at. I guess he's thinking it was like too short of a swinging bunt that like he wouldn't advance. I guess that's the idea. So we're getting a pitching substitution here. Keegan Aiken on to pitch for the Orioles now, after Cano gives up a pair of runs, potentially more, through an inning or through a third of an inning. Also blows the lead there. Up to bat for the Orioles after this will be Leody Taveras, Colton Cowser, and Blaze Alexander, who will have to try and salvage this, either at least 1 or 2 run deficit or more, depending on how this goes. This game has completely flipped. So Keegan Aiken, who has had a terrible season, all things considered, 11.25 ERA for the Orioles, throws four-seamer, changeup, slider, lefty reliever. Not really sure why the O's have kept Keegan Aiken around for so long. I mean, they have, he might also just be like one of the only like fresh arms in the bullpen left, because they used Grant Wolfram and Anthony Nunez yesterday. They're definitely not pitching Rico Garcia at the moment. The only other one would be Albert Suarez and Andrew Kittredge, and I feel like Kittredge might have even pitched last night as well. I think he did. I think Kittredge pitched last night, so I think it was just between Garcia, Aiken, and Suarez, and I don't think he pitched Suarez here because he's your long reliever pretty much. So it's not a decision you really want to make, but Cano, not a good outing from him. Blue Jays have rallied, scored 6 straight here to take the lead in the 7th and 8th innings. Cano is looking on the iPad at what he did wrong. Keegan Aiken will look to try and strand Guerrero at third base. Again, 11.25 ERA, 12 innings pitched, 1.92 whip, opponent's hitting 345, 8.3 strikeouts per 9, 3.0 walks per 9, has given up 3 home runs. Should be Dalton Varsho up to bat at the moment. Lefty on lefty matchup here, so that's part of the reason why you bring in Keegan Aiken. Ball 1 was probably a strike 1 on the fastball at the bottom of the zone. Called ball 1. No challenge from Basayo, as the Orioles are pretty conservative with their challenges for ABS. 1-0 is swung on a missed slider there. Varsho's clearly seen something else there. So Varsho doubled his last time he was up and scored off of the Charles McAdoo 2-run home run in the last inning. Then a 1-1 count at the moment. There's another slider that is not swung at for ball 2. So Aiken, better at getting righties out than lefties though. Reverse splits guy, but don't have too many other options at the moment. There is called strike 2 on the changeup outside, so it makes up for the called ball 1. So either way, it is a 2-2 count. Take it there. Nice. Strikeout here would be absolutely huge. And it is instead lined right back up at Keegan Aiken, caught by Gunnar Henderson. And actually, I think it knocked Keegan Aiken's cap a little bit. Henderson, with a good play there, was buzzed right by the tower of Keegan Aiken. Instead, is just a hard liner for out number 2. Guerrero does not have any chance to advance. So that is huge. That is right back up by the face of Keegan Aiken. That is really dangerous. It's like right behind his head, pretty much. Henderson catches it on the fly. Brings up Charles McAdoo, 1 for 3 with a home run. Takes ball 1 on a changeup above the zone. So Keegan Aiken is luckily he's fine. Didn't get hit. So he's all good. So his first hit last time he was up was that 2-run home run. Let's hope he does not do that this time. He will knock this one foul on a fastball, 1-1. So strikeout looking, foul out, and then home run for McAdoo so far in his big league debut. Vlad Guerrero Jr. is on third base still as the potential 7th run. McAdoo swings underneath a fastball there for foul tip, strike 2. So Keegan Aiken in the driver's seat right now. Fisher, don't know your first name, but probably the setup man, I assume, for the Blue Jays. Braden Fisher, that's his first name, as there is a changeup below the zone for ball 2. But Fisher is warming in the bullpen for the Blue Jays, who have suddenly now found themselves with a lead for the first time tonight. So McAdoo on the 2-2 will knock this one high in the air and foul again. So we go once more on the 2-2. Make sure that's all updated. So innings 1 through 6, 0 runs and 1 hits. Since then, it's been 6 runs on 7 hits for the Blue Jays tonight. That's just how it's been. 2-2 to McAdoo is knocked over to Gunnar Henson softly on the liner. He will throw out McAdoo at first base. So Blue Jays get to bring their lead up to 1 now for the first lead tonight. Though it is still just a 1-run lead. Cano gives up 2 runs, but only 2. Aiken strands Guerrero Jr. at third, thankfully. So one of Keegan Aiken's better outings. Though O's now find themselves batting down for the first time tonight. They suddenly need some runs here to try and not fall 2 in a row to the Blue Jays in what has become a heartbreaker of a game here in these last 2 innings. Will be Taveras, Cowser, and Alexander up to bat. Unless we get a pinch hitter for... I mean, might pinch hit. If Albie wants to, might pinch hit O'Neill for Cowser. I could potentially see that happening if they want to do matchups and stuff. Of course, Munetaka Murakami goes down with an injury as well. That's really cool. Love that. Love that so much. That's really fun. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I doubt they take out Leote at all. It's yeah, I agree, because it completely drained my energy. I was having a very good time like 30-40 minutes ago, and now it's not been it. It's not been it at all. I just hope they come back. I would love another walk-off, but I honestly, I'd prefer they just score 2 runs here and then close it out in the 9th for the Orioles. You know, have Rico come on with a 7-6 lead, close it out there. Just, you know, no, don't need to try and chance it in the 9th. At least get 1 here. I just want 1 here, at least. Make sure we don't have to take a deficit into the 9th inning. That's the idea. But, you know, more than 1 would certainly be lovely as well. Just needs something to make the fans a little bit happier, to not have this game be one of the more, like, one of the worst losses of the season if this were to continue, I'd say. I mean, obviously the 17-1 loss is really bad. And the 16-6 one as well, that one was really bad, but like those are ones where it's like it's bad by, you know, the like 5th or 6th inning. This one is like it's one of those games. So Leote, who's in, back over on the right side against Brandon, or is that Fluharty still in? Hang on. Fluharty's still in there to pitch. So he takes ball 1 as well. So Fluharty, the lefty, and Taveras switch hitting righty, takes strike 1 on a cutter there in the middle of the zone. So Fluharty did only throw 3 pitches first time he was up. Back in the 7th. Now in the 8th with nobody out, Taveras looks to get on for the 2nd time today. Takes strike 2 on a sweeper there. Taveras, I guess, yeah, he's looking to get on base 3rd time today. So he's 1 for 2 with a walk. Taveras does have a single in this game as well. Way back when this game was much better. The 1-2 is outside, well outside with a changeup for ball 2. I guess Fluharty might have to go a minimum of 3 batters even with the inning change, maybe. Andres Jimenez is checking in his shortstop. Ernie Clement has bumped over to second base from the looks of it, so I think Charles McAdoo's day is done. Certainly a productive day for him in the end. Taveras on the 2-2 will knock this one high over into right field, but shallow. That will hang up for the right fielder Pinyango to make out number 1. So we'll see. Are we going to see Tyler O'Neill pinch hit here against Fluharty? Are we? Don't really want that to happen. I think, no, Jeremiah Jackson's going to pinch in instead for Colton Cowser, since it is a lefty pitcher. Cowser's also 1 for 3 on the day. Interesting. So might move Blaze Alexander to the outfield, and Jackson Holiday might move over to third base. Either that or Jeremiah Jackson might move over to third base, one of the two. But I think Blaze is probably going to get bumped over into the outfield unless we have another pinch hit or pinch defensive substitution situation. But Blaze is on deck, and he is certainly going to bat, given that it is a lefty reliever at the moment. I don't think they'd take it out his bat either. It's really Weston Wilson, Tyler O'Neill, the only other two bench guys. Ball 1 on a sweeper outside to Jeremiah Jackson. He's hitting 248 with only a 263 on base percentage. Base is empty here as Jackson swings through changeup for strike 1. So I just would love something here. So the Orioles offense has also suddenly gone flat as well. Jackson will foul this one away on a cutter behind home plate for strike 2. As it's been, how long has it been since the Orioles have even gotten a hit? I mean, it's been since both. I mean, Seabold and Fluharty have not given up anything yet, unfortunately. So it's been a little bit, actually. Been a couple innings. 1-2 to Jeremiah Jackson is fouled away again. So we still go on the 1-2. Rutschman and Alonso now looking a little disheartened down in the bullpen. They're looking very stoic. Definitely thinking of where this game went wrong. 1-2 is down below the zone with a sweeper for ball 2. So what could have been at the moment is what I'm thinking. But game is not quite over yet, though the vibes are certainly low. 2-2 to Jeremiah Jackson is knocked over into center field. That will just barely hang up, caught on the line by the center fielder, Dalton Varsho, for out number 2. So he's made a couple good plays in the outfield. O's down to 4 outs now on the hard liner from Jeremiah Jackson that just barely hangs up for Dalton Varsho. Makes it look easy. We'll bring up Blaze Alexander, who did have a 6 RBI game on Wednesday, at least. Wouldn't mind a homer here. But, yeah, it's energy is drained at the moment. Blaze Alexander takes his time to, I think, adjust the batter's box slightly. Scrape out some dirt there. But Alexander has been hitting better as of late. 14 RBIs, 256 average. Just has the 1 home run that came on Wednesday. Takes strike 1 on a sweeper. He's looked like he wanted a challenge. Instead, he just adjusts his helmet. Was a little below the zone. So would have been ball 1. Mason Fluharty looking to get through the 8th here. Alexander takes ball 1 on a cutter outside. Don't know if we'll see who's going to pitch in the 9th for the O's if it's still 6-5. Don't know if they're going to put Rico Garcia out there or not. Alexander fouls this one away for strike 2 on the cutter. And the O's not looking good right now, to say the least. The offense has lost their step, and the pitching has not looked good over the past 2 innings. They're down 1 after being up 5 just 2 innings ago, really. Started the 7th, they were up 5. As Alexander knocks this one just foul over in the right. Just a little late on that cutter. Stays alive, though. And then most I think live views I think I've had on the stream so far for an Orioles game this season. So I think people are here to see my misery right now. Get a quick time call mound visit by catcher Valenzuela. I think pitch clock might have been running a bit low. So him and Fluharty are going to chat. As Blue Jays manager John Schneider looks on. He's probably pretty happy with his team right now. After getting 1 hit through 6, they've now have 6 runs here in 8 innings. No, 6 runs through just 2 innings, really. So 1-2 again to Blaze Alexander from Mason Fluharty. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Ball 2 on a changeup in the dirt. So Blaze works himself back into a decent count here against the lefty reliever. In this bullpen game as well, I might add, for the Blue Jays. Again, dealing with a ton of starter injuries. I think the Dylan Cease injury that happened recently is probably part of this reason why, as Alexander will strike out on a sweeper. O's will have to go to the 9th, try to find a run. Down 1 at the moment. I'm very curious to see who they pitch here out of the bullpen. If they stick with Keegan Aiken or they go with someone else. But it is not looking good at all for the Orioles right now. Will be should be Nathan Lucas, Pinago, and Valenzuela, I think, are the batters up. Or Nathan Lukes, not Lucas. And then Yohendrick Pinago and Brandon Valenzuela up to bat for the Blue Jays. I am very bummed right now. Very, very bummed. So let's see. How are other teams doing? Let's see. Scoreboard-wise, let's see. Guardians won 4-3 over the Red Sox. Braves won 8-3 over the Reds. Twins still up 5-4 over the Pirates. Padres up 7-5 now over the Nats. Rays up 8-5 over the Angels. That game kind of exploded offensively. Yeah, it was 2-1 going into the 7th, and now it's 8-5 in the 8th there. That's crazy. Mets up 6-5 over the Marlins. Cardinals up 5-4 over the Cubs. Let's see. Tigers up 2-1 over the White Sox. Rangers up 4-0 over the Royals. Astros up 4-3 over the Brewers. Giants and Rockies tied at 1. And then Yankees, A's, Diamondbacks, Mariners, and then Phillies, Dodgers coming up later on tonight. 5 runs in the first 5 for the Orioles. Rico Garcia is on the pitch for the O's here, looking to try and keep this game where it is and give the O's a chance in the bottom of the 9th. .77 ERA. He's been one of the best relievers in baseball. Opponent's hitting .081 average. He's given up 1 home run, 3.5 walks per 9, 10.4 strikeouts per 9, .64 whip, 23.1 innings pitched. And again, ERA .77. So it's been really good. 4-seam changeup, slider, and curveball for Rico. Going up against Nathan Lukes, who is a pinch hitter. 0 for 1 on the night. Takes strike 1 on a 4-seamer. Bit of movement on that 4-seamer. But 4-seamer nonetheless. Fouled out last time he was up. Back to Samuel Basayo, I believe, behind home plate. Tyler O'Neill subs into right field. So he subs into that 7 spot for Jeremiah Jackson as Lukes knocks this one over into right field. That is going to be a base hit. O'Neill will race over, field it off the wall, and that will be a double for Nathan Lukes, unfortunately. So that is back-to-back-to-back innings. The Blue Jays put the leadoff man on. And Rico's not a guy who gives up even just a lot of hits this season. Gives up the leadoff double there on a fastball at the top of the zone. Lukes just squares around it there, and that's just been the night for the O's. The guys you expect to perform pitching-wise later on in the game just haven't, even against guys that might not be hitting all that well. So Yohendrick Pinago, who's 0 for 3, has a runner in scoring position here in the top of the 9th, nobody out. Garcia on the first pitch throws it well high on a changeup for ball 1. Again, looks to try and keep this lead at 1 for the Blue Jays, but is in danger of giving up another here. Not been the night for the Orioles bullpen right now. And the Orioles just late in the game either. There's another curveball there that is well high of the zone, so Garcia's thrown a couple pitches that have not been the usual Rico Garcia pitch. So someone there at the start of the 7th inning put a curse on the Orioles or something. I don't know. Very strange. Next pitch is well in the zone. Swing and a miss. Strike one on a changeup. Good pitch there from Rico. Doesn't usually get a lot of swing and misses, but gets one there. So, again, Garcia, one of the best relief pitchers in baseball at the moment. Gets Pinango to swing through a changeup again for strike two. Looks to try and get out of this first batter double here. In a 2-2 count at the moment. Throwing some really nice changeups back-to-back here after a couple pitches that were not close. There's third straight changeup. Gets Pinango swinging again. So 3 straight swing and misses on the changeup for strikeout and out number 1 of this top of the 9th inning. Will be Jackson Holliday, Taylor Ward, and Gunnar Henderson up to bat in the bottom of the 9th to try and win it, or at least tie it up and send it to extras. As it is now Valenzuela up to bat. Takes ball 1 on a changeup, just a little low, no swing. Valenzuela 1 for 3 with a double. Lefty batter, righty pitcher. That will be George Springer up to bat, unless we have a crazy double play here. No easy double play, given the runner on second, nobody on first and third. As Valenzuela pops this one up high into shallow right field. Gunnar Henderson runs back. Taylor Ward comes in. Taylor Ward makes the catch for out number 2. So 2 outs here for Rico after the leadoff double. Brings up Ernie Clement, who is 1 for 3 with a walk. Will be his 5th time up to bat. Garcia 1 out away from sending us to the bottom of the 9th. Or sorry, this is not Ernie Clement. This is George Springer. My bad. I don't know why I keep saying Ernie Clement. But George Springer, the righty batter, 1 for 3. Will look to try and drive home Lukes. He will chop this one foul on a slider. Garcia looks to try and hold off Lukes after the double to start the inning. Braden Fisher still warming in the bullpen. I assume he will have the 9th. So 0-1 from Garcia to George Springer is below the zone on a slider for ball 1. 89 miles per hour. So pretty hard slider there. Not a lot of sideways movement either. That was just a bit of a drop there. So Basayo still catching. 1-1 from Garcia to Springer is in the dirt. Ball 2 on a curveball. No swing. First base is open, so walk doesn't kill you here, but walk isn't certainly good either. Just 1 walk, and it is actually George Springer, the lone walk for the Blue Jays so far tonight. 5 strikeouts. Orioles 4 walks, 3 strikeouts. 3 home runs for the Orioles, 2 for the Blue Jays. All 3 of those home runs were solo shots. Blue Jays both were 2-run home runs. This one is lined over to Gunnar Henderson at shortstop, and he will throw out George Springer at first base, so Rico escapes the leadoff double with nothing given up. Orioles down by a run. Jackson Holliday, Taylor Ward, Gunnar Henderson up to bat to try and turn this game around. So, bit of drama here that I didn't want to see, if I'm being honest. I wanted this to be an easy win for the Orioles, and it was that for 6 innings. Now it has not been that. We'll see if the Orioles can turn it around here. I would really love that because I don't want to be sad. I really don't right now. That it's been rough, to say the least. These past 2 innings, I mean, Rico's been fun to watch. He's always fun to watch, but that was rough. That was rough. Now I have to go deal with stupid Orioles Twitter and how negative they are, and they're always the worst. Not that I actually like post on there, but just like my Twitter feed gets invaded by the doomers. And they're, I mean, like, if the O's do lose, that's, yeah. Yeah, like, I don't blame the doomers tonight if the Orioles do lose, because this was rough, but I just don't like being negative all that much. It's just not fun. Like, I'd rather be positive, and there was a lot of stuff to be positive about in this game for 6 innings, and now it has not been there. It's been not a lot of positive after that, unfortunately. So let's hopefully, Kevin, for the both of us, for our sakes, the O's can find a rally here, as it will be Holiday, Ward, and Henderson. Braden Fisher on to pitch for the Blue Jays. 2.56 ERA, 29 games pitched. Opponents hitting just 183. Braden Fisher. Giving up just 2 home runs. Let's make that 3. Or 4, actually. Just a couple solo shots. Slider, curveball, four-seamer, and cutter. Righty reliever going up against lefty, righty, lefty. Holiday, already a home run tonight. Would certainly love another one here. O's have yet to get a hit since Austin Voth. It's been 2 2/3 innings of scoreless, thanks to the Blue Jays bullpen, and hitless, actually. There's ball 1 on a curveball just outside to Jackson Holiday. So curve, the second most used pitch. Slider is the most used pitch. Does not throw it a lot to lefties on that slider. The curveball is actually the most used. There is a slider, though, for strike 1. So 1-1 count for Holiday, who's 2 for 3. Let me actually scroll back up a little bit slightly. Sorry about that. Hang on. There we go. So Holiday on the 1-1. Trying to be the hero tonight. Love that. We'll chop this one foul on a slider for strike 2 instead. Again, Holiday, Ward, Henderson. Henderson 0 for 3 with a walk. Ward 1 for 3 with a walk. Holiday 2 for 3. If we were to get through that, Adley Rutschman will be up to bat after that. Though, could certainly end it either way between these 3 batters. Holiday looks at ball 2 on a curveball outside. Orioles are down to 1 ABS challenge at the moment. They lost one on a Samuel Basayo challenge earlier in the game. 2-2 now for Holiday against Fisher. Holiday will chop this one over to second base, fielded there by Ernie Clement for out number 1. Brings up Taylor Ward. So Ward can tie it with a homer. Gets on base. Gunnar Henderson would be the winning run. Blue Jays do have another man in the bullpen warming up. It is Spencer Miles. Just in case. Ward will look at ball 1 on a slider in the dirt. But this is... I mean, the O's just don't have any momentum right now. They've been shut down for the past couple innings, and obviously giving up 6 runs. They've blown the lead. Just hasn't been anything going well so far. These past couple innings, there's strike 1 on a slider. Good slider there. Just clips the inside part of the zone. 1-1 for Taylor Ward. Gunnar Henderson 0 for 3 with a walk. If any time is ever for him to get a clutch hit, it would be now. Or coming up, essentially. Ward on the 1-1 will knock this one high over in the air, but that is deep, but not quite deep enough. Warning track fly out for Taylor Ward. Out number 2 on the curveball to Dalton Varsho over in center. Good job for Varsho. So Orioles down to their final out. Gunnar Henderson, the chance to tie it up with a homer. He is last chance. Ward just gives it a shrug. He's not sure why that ball's not going further. So Henderson, anytime, now's a good time as any for him to get a clutch hit. And he's not been very clutch so far this season. Henderson on the first pitch takes strike 1 on a slider in the middle of the zone. It's the last chance for the Birds. Fortunately, has not been great when he's in this spot. I'm trying to reverse jinx him, if you can't tell. Henderson takes ball 1 on a slider below the zone. Now would be a good time as any for his first hit out to the flag court tonight. Yeah, this is a tough one. This is a tough loss that is probably going to happen. I'm trying to will Gunnar Henderson into a hit here. On the 1-1 outside on a curveball for ball 2. 2-1 for Gunnar. Come on, Gunnar. Come on, Gunnar. Now is a good time as any. See if he can do something here. Gunnar will ground this one instead over to second base. Misplay instead by the second baseman, Ernie Clement. That was surely out number 3 on the simple grounder. Ernie Clement just boots it, so the Orioles are alive on the error. Brings up Adley Rutschman. This should be game over. Instead, Adley has a chance to win it with a walk-off homer. That is just a grounder. Ernie Clement just misplays it completely. So Gunnar Henderson gets real lucky. That is in and out of Ernie Clement's glove, knocks off his leg over back into left or into right field. O's catch a break. Again, game is still clearly in favor of the Blue Jays at the moment, but the O's have something. Rutschman on the first pitch takes strike one on a slider in the middle, as he usually does. It is first base runner in a couple innings now for the Orioles on the error. Adley is 0 for 3 with a walk, struck out looking his last time he was up. Does not have a hit, obviously. Would love first hit here for Adley as well. Adley will swing through a curveball there for strike 2, so Adley is down to his... Adley and the Orioles are down to their last strike as they try to make the Blue Jays capitalize on their mistake. 0-2 hole, though, for Adley, who's batting from the left side at the moment. Fisher, 14 pitches. Again, still not really thinking the O's are going to pull this out, but would be nice. Would be nice. So Adley on the 0-2 will chop this one over to Ernie Clement. He fields this cleanly this time. Throw it to first base is in time. Orioles, with one of the most heartbreaking losses of the season, fall 6-5 to the Blue Jays. That sucks so much. So, Orioles put up an absolute stinker there to end the game. I'm going to stay off the internet because I don't want to deal with any of that right now. Hopefully the O's can split the series on Saturday and Sunday because that was terrible. Just terrible. And hopefully they can, next week when the O's play the Blue Jays, I can watch them win because that was just awful. So, a lot of explaining to do there from the Orioles on how they just completely messed it up. And they're not usually one, they haven't been one this year to blow games like that. It's strange. So just, I wasn't expecting that. So Orioles lose one of the worst of the season. That puts me in a real bad mood right now. So yeah, that sucks. So yeah, O's are going to be playing a couple more games against Blue Jays. Hopefully they can not embarrass themselves further. That has been really just brutal, back-to-back brutal losses these past few days. So, all right. Well, next week will be more Final Fantasy VII Remake on Thursday. And then next Friday will be Orioles Blue Jays in Toronto. Hopefully the Orioles will be playing better by then. Yeah, otherwise I'm going to go scream into the void because that was awful. Thanks for joining me, all of you who have been here. As always, Kevin, thank you very much for partaking in our joint suffering, since the Orioles just do not like to win games sometime this season. They just really seem adverse to trying to win games multiple times. Yeah, hopefully they can win Saturday. Hopefully this lights a fire under them and they actually remember how to hit a baseball for more than 5 innings. That sucks so much, man. How do they lose that game? They're like one hit. Blue Jays had one hit through 6 innings, and they score 6 in the span of 2. I do not understand. And like the O's are, I don't get it. Like, it's a bullpen game. How do you, like, Seabold pitched against them last week for Detroit, and he was terrible, and Fluharty wasn't good either. Like, it's just ridiculous, man. Just absolutely stupid. All right, I'm gonna sign off because I'm losing my mind. I want to do anything else right now. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, whatever. Do that. I don't care anymore.